sleeping, so I'm like, it's fine. He can just sleep. He's got his good blanket. It's all good.
Oh.
That's what they want you to think.
Oh boy. Okay, so let me just move my notes. I have a lot of notes for this session. I ended up writing up to. So this. Okay. So initially I was thinking, hey, what if I just run like a one shot instead of the campaign? That'll be fun. It'll give us something to do instead. Because we're also, I think, not playing Emma's game this weekend.
No, she's
Yeah.
literally getting to the plane right now.
Yeah,
So,
she's like heading there. So
yeah.
she'll arrive like right before we would start or something. So we're not gonna do that. So I was like, okay, I'll run a one
Also,
shot.
she's got to like travel to Fukushima and stuff.
Yeah, that's gonna take a while. That's a long trip.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. But we'll find out soon when she lands. Hopefully safely.
Hopefully.
So that's where so that idea started. And then I had some ideas for one shots, which I will keep in the back of my mind for like future dates. But then I was thinking, you know what? I could just make this like a session, like a one shot with all of our characters still in it, right? And then after I was thinking, wait, I could just make a canon one shot. It just started getting out of hand from there. And so basically, this is like it's like half a one shot and half like session 5.5. So it'll basically end up where we left off last game, but a lot of stuff will happen this game, and you guys will probably have. You might have like items and stuff from what goes on. It'll be all canon, so everything that happens you take on with you throughout
everyone.
the rest of the game.
That's the plan.
It's there is some. This has more notes than most of my normal sessions, so there is a lot to potentially explore. But
Okay.
I'm also it's out of like paranoia that the session is gonna be too short. But who knows? If you guys end up getting through to the cutoff point, then it might be short. If it starts getting too long, it probably won't. There isn't like it's not really long. But anyway,
I mean, we've got an early Toy Story, don't we? So can't go too late.
I'll be fine. I'll be fine.
It'll be fine,
You have to
it'll
call
be
me if I
fine.
am not up, but
It'll be fine.
it should be okay.
Thomas, do you really think that I'm gonna be up before you?
Yeah, probably not. Okay, fair enough.
Have you set your alarms and made sure that there are backups?
Yeah, I woke up early today anyway. I got up at like 7 a.m., which is roughly what I need to do. I need to get up at like similarly to get to the city, but it'll be fine. Anyway, okay, so I was going to ask if either of you wanted to do a recap of last session, but I'm also willing to do it myself because that wasn't kind of really expected from doing a one-shot, and we'll probably need a recap anyway in the session coming up, so I might just go through it quickly.
Here for most of our session.
Yeah.
I have a very, very fast recap. Because
I can go through really quickly. Okay, first of all, what is even relevant? There's stuff here that I need to explain mostly just to Quinny, but well, actually Lily to you as well because you weren't here for Jade's thing. Hold on.
I mean, Core doesn't know anything that Jade didn't tell him, so I don't know if you want to tell me or if...
Well, it's like a session recap, so you as a player can know, even if Core doesn't.
Okay. I've gotten very into the method acting of just shutting my ears, because Core doesn't know, and eventually I'll find out.
Well, okay. Okay, it's up to you. I can either go through like a really quick recap and go through all the stuff, because I have not like points here from what happened last time, just to catch you up to speed on where we're at, or we can just immediately start. It's kind of up to you.
Well,
I'll
but...
do a quick recap. Okay, so when we started, we scrolled back in time to a few days ago. I don't have the exact number of days in these specific notes, but it was like 3 days ago or something. And half the session ended up being a Jade catch-up session, which I kind of have mixed feelings about now, but we won't get into that. I've kind of already explained what I thought. But basically what ended up happening was Jade got up to leave during the night, saw Captain Featherbeard and Cloud having a conversation. Featherbeard was asking about his son. Cloud responded with hesitation, noting that he hasn't really been there all that much for him, but he can certainly go visit, and it was kind of in vague terms, so this wasn't really apparent or obvious until Jade actually went and met Captain Featherbeard's son, Oliver, who lived with his tabaxi pseudo-mom, kind of. We don't really know. That wasn't really explained too much or delved into in the session. But living with Cloud's sister, Morning Cloud, whose name Jade did find out, Jade went to a bait shop and bought them fishing hats and bought himself one as well. Then, just after midday, another messenger pigeon flew by into the post office. This is the same one that you guys saw, and used to orientate yourselves from the bandits' camp originally. The message was for the town's leader, and it was basically just the guards being like, "Hey, yo, Cloud is actually I can read you the exact message here. We will arrive at Port Harry for Heller 1 week from now, as Evening Cloud is under arrest for robbing the crown and will be put to death as punishment. Attached is a shipment of posters depicting the tabaxi should he choose to escape. We will not hesitate to punish accomplices accordingly. Signed, the Royal Guard of Capital."
I didn't realize we get punished because we're accomplices. Jade left
Jade,
out that part.
Jade knows that.
Jade!
But he also hasn't mentioned that. That said, those
This is why you can't
posters...
tell Core, because now I know, and I'm like, Core would not be on board with this.
Okay, so that message wasn't intercepted or anything. That made its way to town leader. He got the message. He got the shipment of posters. He instead did not put them up and chose to put the posters away. The posters that were... He put up other posters instead around the town, calling for a town meeting. The town meeting happened the following morning, where he had not that many people show up. But present was Jade as well as Cloud, and some other kind of folk from around the area. Tome, notably, was not present, and after kind of everybody left, Jade and Cloud stayed behind. Tide, the leader of the town's leader, whatever you want to call him, the mayor, sort of. It's not really elected. People just kind of accept him. So let me just be careful what happened in the session, what didn't. He stayed behind with Cloud and Jade and explained to Cloud kind of the situation in more detail because he was vague with the townspeople. He showed Cloud and Jade so as well the posters that were not put up, the wanted posters, and all three of them kind of noted that the picture accompanying the name on the poster didn't match Cloud's face. It was instead a pretty accurate depiction of Tome's face, which Jade recognized, I think. Was Jade with you the first time you guys met Tome? No.
He was?
But yes.
That was the autopilot session, right? Where Jade
Yeah.
didn't redact that. So he was with you. Yeah, because I made a mental note not to comment on Jade's presence there. Okay, so he does know Tome's face, and so do all of you. Although I don't think any of you know these details as Jade does, because Jade hasn't really mentioned anything. But Jade knows the ramifications and all of that sort of stuff. And right after that point, Jade decided to kidnap Cloud, run off with him out of the window, and
Wow.
make his way further south, create a kind of a boat / raft, not really, float on a log through the waters, past a few smaller islands. Like,
You see, if I'd been here this session, I would have just been like, the whole time, just like, what's going on?
There was some interesting stuff. Jade floated by an island with an orc that threw a javelin at Jade. Jade got pierced by the javelin and now has a javelin as a weapon. Considered throwing it back, but decided not to after realizing that he might get thrown and impaled a second time. Not thrown himself. It's kind of part. He's very heavy. They made it all the way back. All the way back to where you guys were camping during the night. And you all kind of met up at that point after you had... Well, Jade arrived there during the night, and then you met each other kind of throughout the watches and in the morning when the awakening happened. Was there anything else? Yeah, then after that, you guys were active. So this part you guys do remember pretty clearly, I think, where...
Right,
Yeah, I think Lily, you were here for this as well. After you guys woke up, you went and inspected the goblin camp, were kind of very cautious about things. You contemplated changing into a goblin and going, like, incognito and sneaking around as a goblin, but ultimately decided that it was too risky and just thought better not to, so Core did not. Then...
He did for, like, a bit, but then he decided it was too risky to just do anything by himself, so
Yeah.
he went back.
Yep.
Yeah, he made us all turn around.
Yeah.
You can't say Core being ugly, it's just not good for his self-esteem.
I mean, beauty is subjective, you know? It's in the eye of the beholder, and the Baron, I'm sure, would disagree.
Yeah, not to Core.
So that happened, then you guys did end up actually making it into the pyramid. It was kind of unguarded for the most part. You saw two goblins walk in. You guys followed them in yourselves kind of shortly after. As you walked in, there was a sort of muttering sound, which Baron might have understood, but Baron isn't here, so I can't mention it yet.
Should I message Quinny?
If you, I messaged Quinny. I'll quickly check.
I have her number, so.
She did say, I may have to pop in a bit later though. So.
Oh, that's good timing.
Hello.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, perfect timing.
Sorry, I was doing tutoring.
Oh, that's okay. Welcome back from tutoring. I hope
Making
everything
that
is
money.
going smoothly. Gotta get that cash money. I've almost finished doing a session recap. Basically, okay, so up to this point, last session, the session you weren't here for just over half of it was catching up Jade. Jade did a bunch of stuff, kidnapped Cloud, brought Cloud with him. Hasn't explained anything to any of you guys, so not knowing what happened at this moment is probably not that important.
Okay.
So I thought in the morning that like there was like a mutual catch up where we explained what happened and Jade explained what happened.
How much did Jade explain?
I
Was it
can't
just like
remember.
everything, including like, because I guess that'll depend on,
The criminal
bit.
stuff I know
yeah.
because then Elia got blamed for being the criminal.
Yeah.
Elia's like, I'm
Oh
about to
yeah, there was the whole
party.
the theorizing
Jade
about.
wanted to hand Ilya in, didn't Jade?
Yeah.
Oh, oh yeah, to the crown,
Yeah.
because Jade or Emma came up with the interesting. I have to comment on it neutrally. The interesting theory about Tome's keys, or one of his keys, or both of his keys, or none of his keys, something of his belonging to the crown that was potentially stolen, and thinks that might be the reason why the crown is mad, is upset at you guys because he did it bad. Apparently, I can't say one way or the other. It's an interesting theory, but we'll have to find out. Okay, so quickly to recap for Quiddy, Jade left during the night, like ages. We did like a rewind back in time. Jade left during the night, found out Captain Featherbeard had a son, went and met his son south of the tavern where you guys didn't explore. There was like this farmland and stuff that was south of the village. Captain Featherbeard's son, Oliver, as he's called, lives there with Cloud's sister, Morning Cloud. She kind of cultivates a farm. I guess, I don't know if that's the right word. She farms on a farm that she owns. And they kind of live there peacefully. She seems like she's not too fond of Captain Featherbeard himself. Jade makes hats for them. He goes and sees that there are posters calling for a town meeting. He goes and checks out the town meeting. Turns out, Cloud is like being accused of robbing the crown. Not many details are disclosed while all the townspeople are there, but as everybody filters out, the town leader himself, named Tide, who none of you guys have met except for Jade, stayed behind with Jade and Cloud and explained in detail the exact kind of
Camera keeps freezing.
ramifications of what's going on. Your camera's fine on my end, but yeah. If you refresh, it'll technical
The
issues.
internet here is suspicious.
It's sus. Need a refund. Yeah. Basically, okay. So Cloud is basically under arrest. They want him to stay there. Accomplices helping him escape are going to be punished, as well as him. Possibly put to death. We don't know. That's what the letter seems to insinuate. And also the wanted poster that was shipped to the island, which hasn't been put up, which the town leader saw, he showed to Jade and Cloud, and it looks like, despite it being Cloud's name written on the poster, the picture is of Tome's face, not of Cloud's, which is kind of weird, and they're confused. They don't know why that's the case. Then, after learning all of this... Say again.
Sorry.
You're cutting out a bit.
Who's Tome?
Tome? The potion shop owner. Or a Tome...
Juice.
Of Tome's Healthy Juices.
I see who the character's based on now.
Tom's Healthy Juices. My Healthy Juices. Yes, I'm a big thief. Yeah, it's his face. Jade finds this out, steals Cloud, takes Cloud with him, and paddles all the way back to you guys, gets attacked by an orc on the way, impaled by a javelin, which he now has, and meets up with you guys at night. you guys left off the previous session sleeping, then you have your watches, and you meet up with Jade in the morning. Jade catches you up, I think, to whatever degree that happens. I don't remember exactly. But that happens, you guys all wake up, and you're kind of contemplating doing stuff around the goblin camp, and Core briefly decides to change into a goblin for a little while before changing back and deciding that it's not a great idea to look that way. Unfortunately, it's not as aesthetic, not as look, which is fine. We understand that. After that, you guys do end up walking in to this big pyramid that's kind of off to the side near this goblin camp. You guys walk in, you hear a muttering, and then like a kind of a sound of a door opening, like a big stone door, and a big stone door closing. And as you kind of see that area, you don't see anybody there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Baron, I want you to roll a perception check for me, because there's a very likely chance that you'll have understood this muttering from last session.
23.
20. Yeah, okay, you definitely hear. So, you hear two different voices. You hear one voice, and this is from the previous session. So this is like from before last session. You hear one voice go, "Do you remember the password?" And then you hear another voice say, "Yeah. Betray." And then the sounds of the door opening and the sound of the door closing happen. That's where we left off last session. Now, we would continue from there. However, this is kind
Am I not freezing for you at all?
No, you're not freezing for me at all.
Okay.
You're perfectly fine for me, but I'll let anybody know if anybody freezes. Anyway, that's like roughly where you guys are. There's a water fixture in there. There's an enclave. So, you guys regroup. You're there. As you're here, I want you guys to roll perception checks for me.
4.
How much was it, Queenie?
2.
22? Okay, that's everybody else.
4.
4?
16.
Okay, Core, you're not paying attention. You're fixated on the water feature in the middle. Looks cool. Sparkly blue water. It's kind of interesting. The other two of you, you do see that there is an inscription on the wall. Fairly obvious, but easy to miss with a 4. Ilya, you can't read it. There's no way you could have read it, no matter what language it would have been in. But, Baron, you do recognize this script. This is Goblin script. And it looks like a kind of a puzzle. And it's inscribed in the wall. And it reads as follows. "Even afar when led astray, goblin kind do we never..." And then it's blank.
Right.
Exactly. That is the answer from... Yeah, you heard the goblin speak. You know exactly. Now, however, as you think of the answer in your head, just as you are about to speak, there is a rumbling in the ground. And as this rumbling is happening, it starts to increase in volatility. And you can't really quite tell where it's coming from. It seems like the whole world is kind of rumbling around you more and more violently. And as this sort of happens, I'm going to need all of you, for me, to please roll dexterity saving throws. As the world starts to lose its color.
Oh.
Ooh.
That is a 16.
Noise.
That is also 16.
16. You guys are all fine. You manage to kind of realize what's going on before anything too severe happens. You notice that the structure of the pyramid around you is starting to collapse in a very weird way. It doesn't look like it's crumbling like a stone pyramid of this kind of this sort of description would crumble. It looks like it's starting to turn to goop, and the goop itself is kind of drooping down. Everything is kind of liquefying in a way and turning to ooze. As this is also happening, your surroundings around you, from your peripherals to the center of your vision, all color is starting to fade from the world, and it's turning to sort of grayscale. And you do see in front of you, because they're not here, conveniently for the plot, Yurik and Jade, unfortunately, do not notice what's happening as they look around and at the inscription on the wall, and are hit and completely encased in goop from the pyramid.
Are they dead?
Those guys.
We don't know. They didn't make it. They had to not make it because they're not here, and I needed to come up with some sort of contrivance to make this work. Anyway, with your dexterity saving throws, you do all manage to just barely make it out of the pyramids, collapse as you kind of run back out from the direction that you came. And before you, looking out into the landscape, everything looks a little bit weird. It is as you saw it when you came in originally, but it's eerily quiet. And carrying on your previous perception rolls, Core, you're too distracted. You're just saddened by the fact that there's no color anywhere. Jade is gone. It doesn't seem like there are any signs of liveliness like there were before. You didn't notice it before when you were just walking around, but now with the absence of the sounds of the goblins and the fauna and the birds and all the wildlife that was roaming around these parts before, now you do notice that all of it seems to be kind of gone. And the world around you is in complete grey, with no color to anything anywhere, as far as you can tell. Even looking down at yourselves, you notice that you two are all no longer in color, for whatever reason. Looking along at the landscape in front of you, everything seems to be kind of drooping a bit, in sort of a weird way. It seems like everything is kind of made of like foam or bubblegum or something. It's hard to say. It's just kind of all a bit weird. In a similar texture to the goopy pyramid, which is completely collapsed behind you.
It all just looks squish.
Kind of. It looks very, very squish. It looks all very, like, Play-Doh-y and like everything is kind of melting.
Fun.
So, this is where you guys find yourselves, for now.
Huh.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that's how much you can see just from looking around. As far as you can see, there isn't anything else around in terms of life.
Can I look up at, like, the sky?
You can indeed look up at the sky. Looking up at the sky, it looks like it would be a kind of relatively nice, sunny, relatively cloudy day. Although the sky itself doesn't have any color either. You do see a very bright gray light kind of from the direction of where the sun is.
Okay.
I'm gonna say that you don't directly look into the sun unless you really want to.
Nah, Elia probably would look straight up into the sun because she thinks it's like, wait, it's dark out. Like, everything is gray, so everything must be nighttime. Looks up at the sun, it's not nighttime.
As you look up at the sun, you are blinded temporarily by the blinding white light coming from it. It is as bright and as intense as you do remember it, having stared at the sun at least once before.
Big goblin.
Quinny, you're like 80% of everything you're saying is cutting out for some reason. Say again? Like nothing is coming through.
Oh.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
Everything is going wrong at the same time.
Every time. There we go.
Do you have okay, Quinny, do you have another microphone? As in, like, are you using your headphone mics? Okay, does your laptop have a microphone? What happens if you try to switch to your laptop microphone? Hello? Okay, now it's
I
just...
think it might just be the laptop.
It's
I don't know.
completely silent. Hold on, okay, what do we have in settings? How can we fix this? If you go to user settings and then go to...
Maybe she could do push to talk instead of, like, trying to get it to pick up her voice.
Okay, try go to your settings, Quinny, and change your microphone to push to talk. And we'll see if this fixes it. But actually, and also, there is another thing I want you to do while you're in settings. So if you go to your user settings and then under app settings to voice and video, if you change your mic sensitivity, like way down.
Okay.
And if you set yourself to push to talk, and then you just push as you talk. We'll see if that fixes the problem or not.
My camera is really annoying me.
Hello? Try again.
Oh.
It's only sometimes picking up. That's so weird. Well, we'll try. Okay, I'll try lip read as best as I can. So,
My camera is just not working. Is it something to do with the region? I don't know.
it is set to Sydney.
Am I just swirly dots for you?
No, you're good for me.
Mm-mm. Yeah, you're fine.
I'm swirly dots.
Might be just Discord on your computer that's messing up.
Yeah. I know there was an update recently.
Mm.
I'll just deal with it.
I'm sorry. Quinny, okay, try tell me what you did again.
Scream out.
You scream out. In Goblin. Did you say, where are we? Okay. Nobody responds, and I'm guessing nobody else understands you as you screech out this Goblin speak. Your party members do not know Goblin. And there don't appear to be any goblins around, or at least if there are, then they don't seem to be responding to your cry out. Currently where you are, from your kind of vantage point, you can see the trees, and you can see where the goblin camp kind of is, although there aren't any goblins there. And in all other directions, it looks kind of just like the rest of the island and the forest and everything. There doesn't seem to be too much else. You can see out into the distance where the rest of the trees are, and the kind of the cliff faces from the areas which you came. If you'd like, roll for me an investigation check. If you want to inspect the area for anything that looks unusual. 15? Okay. As you look around, you do notice something interesting. There does seem to be something that does have color on the ground. As you kind of look down, and just kind of looking around in the grass and everything seems to be grey, but the fact that everything is grey now makes this stand out quite a little bit more. You do notice a little tuft of what looks like some sort of soft fibers, maybe wool, which appear to have a bit of a gold tinge to them.
Relay this information.
Alright, you relay it, everybody else notices it. And looking
I wanna
around...
Go investigate.
Say again?
I want to go investigate.
Alright, go for it. Roll for me an investigation check.
Cool. One sec.
Can I also investigate? with
You
my
can
naked
also investigate.
investigation?
11 plus 5 is 16.
16 and 5. All right, Ilya, you're looking around, but you can't really see anything. You're just kind of looking. You've noticed the one, but you haven't really spotted anything else. Core, you do
I
notice
that it's shiny. That's it.
it is very shiny. It is shiny now that you look at it, especially in the harsh light of the grey sun. Core, you do notice that there are a few more tufts kind of leading towards the goblin camp.
I want to pull some out.
Pull some out of like the
Yeah.
ground. You can pick them
Yeah.
up. It's not really attached to anything, so you can just pocket the small amounts of shedded wool.
Could I do a nature check on them?
Yeah, go for it.
How good is my nature's okay. Oh, well, 13.
13. What are you looking for specifically?
Like, is it a plant fiber, an animal fiber? Do I recognize it?
With a 13, you can tell that it comes from some sort of animal. No plant that you've ever seen sheds anything like this.
Okay. I tell my close good friends that there might be an animal.
My close good friends.
Are we going after it, or...?
It seems fun.
Great! Side quest! Core just walks ahead.
Alright, so if you guys want to follow the trail, it does lead towards the goblin camp, so you guys would be going that way. So as you walk just a little bit, it's only like a few moments away, you guys are pretty close by. As you walk towards the goblin camp, you do see all of the kind of structures that you saw from your previous vantage point from before you were taking your naps. You do kind of see this smaller sort of a goop pile where there used to be a pyramid, and other sort of goopy piles around, and trees. It seems like whatever structures that used to be here have turned mostly to goop and have
The trees have turned
melted.
to goop?
The trees are in the process of goopifying. They seem to be kind of just. They look like Dr. Seuss illustrations at the moment.
Can I roll a dexterity check to avoid stepping in the goop? I think Cora's rather disgusted.
I think for the most part, yeah. If you want, you can roll a dexterity check, but I'll say for the most part, unless you roll like a 1 or something really low.
I rolled a 12.
12? Yeah, you managed to avoid it with precision. So as you avoid the goop and you walk towards the camp, you do notice that near where it looks like a fire pit sort of would have been, it's kind of hard to tell with everything turning to goop, but you do manage to see something that stands out much more from the rest of everything else around here. There is a sheep tied up on the ground, kind of wriggling about, and it has wool with flickers of gold kind of running through it.
A golden fleece.
And as you guys walk and sort of enter the sort of this general area, it does notice you and looks towards you, and as it does, you notice that its eyes are kind of a deep gold that kind of pierce your vision, and really stand out against the harsh background of everything else kind of around you. And it stops moving as it sees you, and as it does, and it makes eye contact with each and every one of you, you hear it talk, although it doesn't move its mouth when it does. It looks at you and says, "I do not have much time. I fear you are in danger."
I just want to touch the sheep.
You can go touch the sheep.
Okay. Do I have to roll like an animal handling? Or
Yeah, roll an animal handling, sure, why not?
it's not really well last time. Okay, that's a 2 plus 2 is 4.
Okay, 4, you kind of just like rub up against the sheep. It's just like nice wool feeling. Yeah, that's the spot. Thank you.
Massage the sheep.
This is important. This is not the time. You see, I am restrained. I cannot free myself in this form.
Oh.
What? Oh. Talking about?
What are the forms you got?
Well, I have many forms. Although this is a form that I am trapped in. Not of my own accord. And I fear we might be being watched at the moment. So there is little I can say.
What?
What's the sheep attached by? How is it like locked up?
Oh, it's just its like legs are tied up.
I untied the sheep.
All right, you untie the sheep.
Check.
Say again.
Check.
What check?
Insight.
Insight. Okay, you want to insight
Doing
check the
some
sheep?
lip reading here.
You guys need to help me with the lip reading.
Yeah.
Check on the.
Was that a 13? Okay, Quinny's camera is frozen for me as well. Quinny, you back?
It was a 13.
13. Okay, cool. So you insight check the sheep. What are you looking for?
Or not.
Whether what or not?
It's lying.
Lying.
Oh, lying. Okay, the camera's freezing for me, so I can't tell exactly whether it's lying or not. It's from your roll. It seems like it's being earnest, although it does seem like it's not really giving you a whole lot of information either.
I still untie it.
You untie it. It does. It kind of stands up like a sheep. It's kind of nice and gold and has its little eyes and golden fur.
Can I check the wool to see if it is actual gold or is it just gold coloring?
Well, okay. Well, yes, you can.
Is that an investigation or? I'm just looking at the skills.
Also, since Core pet the sheep, can I pet the sheep?
You can also pet the sheep. The sheep is
Roll to pet.
okay. Roll animal handling to pet the sheep.
I'm not very good at that.
It's okay. Core did pretty badly too. It was still soft.
No, I did it worse.
How did,
You did worse than
what did you roll?
Roll a 1.
Oh!
You smack the sheep.
You thwack your hand right on the sheep's like kind of flank as you think to yourself, "Oh, this looks very soft," and the sheep gets kind of knocked over and will take damage.
Oh no!
Okay, the sheep takes 1 damage. Oh, ow!
I'm sorry.
What? Why?
Why?
I look so soft and cuddly.
I want to cuddle the
No,
sheep.
it's all right. It kind of sort of stands itself back up. This is not the time.
I'm like cuddling, but really I'm just like looking at the wall to see if it's real gold.
Okay, do you want to roll to check if it's real gold?
Yeah. Was that investigation or perception? I don't know.
Investigation.
Cool.
Go for investigation, yeah.
Aha! 14 plus 5 is a 19.
14 plus 5 is a 19. It doesn't look like the mineral, but it doesn't look like it's coloring either. This is a lot more... It seems like it's a lot more magical than that.
Okay. I want to take the tuft of the gold and get in the sheep's face and be like, so what are you made out of?
I do not know. But
Or can you just
at the
ask
moment...
people what they're made out of?
I think I'm made out of sheep right now. Although, to be honest, wish I wasn't.
Okay.
Regardless, I have brought you here briefly. I don't have much time, so I don't know how long I can stay here for. But
Can I arcana check the wall?
you can arcana check the wall, sure. Go for it, dude. Arcana check the wall.
12 plus 5 is 17.
17. There is a very strong magic emanating from even the tufts of the wool that you're holding. It's almost overpowering.
Can I tell what type of magic it is?
No, it's just overbearing. With your roll, you can't tell specifically what, but it's way more powerful than anything you've ever encountered.
But
I put
we're
it in my
level
pocket.
1.
Say again.
We're level 1.
Yeah. At level
hard to be more
at level
powerful.
1, this is just over. This is like, you know, like when you shake up like the soda drink way too much, and then you open it completely and it just bursts out. This is kind of what like you're like trying to check for bubbles in a shaken up can.
Right, I just put it in my pocket.
But you know that it's really magical. Alright, so you keep the tuft of sheep. Hold on, I need to find my notes because this sheep has like lines of dialogue that it can say.
It's a proper NPC.
Jeez Louise, there's way too many notes for this session. You ran into a man on your first day on the island, is this correct?
Ran to many men.
That one, yes.
I think you know the figure of whom I speak. A dark, shadowy figure. A powerful wizard.
Rings a bell.
He on this island is in possession of a very important artifact. A key to one of 5 stones, merged many millennia ago. And
The Infinity Stone.
the Infinity Stones! No, he doesn't say that. They've laid dormant and still do, although recently. Artifacts in the world which lead to the stones, which have rumored to exist, and I myself did not until recently really know about the existence of these artifacts. 2 of these artifacts have been awoken within recent history. One on a shrine on top of a mountain southwest of here, and another on this very atoll. And I fear that the power behind the stones and the artifacts themselves may fall into the wrong hands. This wizard...
Matter.
Say again? Why do they matter? They, when brought together, my dear Bard, have the potential to unleash a power unlike the world has ever experienced before.
And these stones. Basically.
The Infinity... Kind of? Yeah, sure. We can go with that. Kind of like the Infinity Stones, in a way. I didn't think of that, but you know what? It's kind of an apt figure or metaphor.
You said a shrine on top of a mountain. Do you know what kind of artifact was awoken?
I can only sense the magic from the artifact moving. I do not know the form of which this artifact takes,
So it would be made out of stone, but it can be moving. Am I correct?
The artifacts themselves aren't necessarily made of stone. The stones themselves are stones.
Uh-huh.
These artifacts are the keys to locating these stones, however.
Keys.
Yes. Keys.
Stones, keys. This is
In a-
great day.
In a figurative sense.
Okay.
But regardless, this information... Meh. Eh.
Okay.
And you can no longer understand the sheep, and now it's not talking anymore, and it sees in your expression that you don't recognize what it's saying, as it suddenly cuts off.
Oops.
And the gold from its fur starts to slowly disappear.
Cut off.
Can I poke the sheep?
You can poke the sheep.
Yeah.
As you go to poke the sheep, you hear a "Hey!" coming from kind of to your side. And if you choose to turn and have a look at where this voice is emanating from, you see a sort of
Yep.
portly fellow.
I hide behind Ilya.
You see a... Wait, did I... Hold on. I need to check if I had it like... Oh my goodness. Not that one. It's over here. I'm sorry. There are a lot of notes. I've, like, very... This is very roughly laid out.
BRB.
Yep. All good. Yep. So this figure enters kind of your vision and looks to be taking on a human form. Portly fellow, seems to be an older gentleman, very big, wide, long beard. He kind of walks up to you and he says, "Hello, I do not know who you are, but this is my sheep and I'll be taking it now. Thank you very much for looking after it. I appreciate your gestures of kindness. Please do not poke my sheep anymore."
For looking after your sheep?
Say again? For what? For looking after my sheep?
Payment for looking after the sheep.
I don't think so. I don't think I'll be doing that.
Persuasion.
Persuasion? You can certainly try.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. He looks at you. And he looks at the sheep, which is kind of... It still has its golden glow, but it's starting to sort of fade. And he looks at all three of you and says, "You know what? Yeah, I'll pay you. I'll pay you for the sheep."
Are we getting money?
And he turns around to face away from you and lets out a deafening dragon roar.
Oops.
And begins to grow in size and completely transform as this old man's clothes are ripped from his body as he completely transforms and turns into a gargantuan, huge beast. A giant, dark, you can't tell its color because it's all monochrome at this point, massive dragon floating in the air. And
Thomas,
he turns back
we're level
around.
1.
I know.
Can I grab the sheep and run?
You
Can I
can
grab the sheep and run?
You can certainly try grab the sheep after you roll for initiative.
No. Wait, but I rolled a natural 20.
Yeah, you persuaded him, alright.
I got a natural 20 for initiative.
You got a natural
That's
20
one.
for initiative as well? Oh, dang. Okay, hold on. What is your dex modifier?
+1.
+1? Okay.
I got a 21, but it was an 8. It wasn't a natural 21. So
Okay. It is 21.
1, 4, 14.
14. Oh, wait, Cord, do you have a modification to initiative?
Yeah, +1.
Oh, okay. So yours is
It's your
21
dex
then.
modifier. Yeah.
Okay.
So wait, would Core be going first because of the natural 20? Because mine was an 18 plus 3.
Yeah, sure. We can do natural 20s go first. Baron, what did you say you rolled? 14? Sweet. All right. Alright, let's get into combat. So, first in the initiative order is going to be...
Thomas, sorry, I'm gonna shut down my Discord and come back because everything's freezing for me now. So I'll be back in 1 sec. Sorry.
We'll take a 1 sec break. These are... Okay, these rolls are really extreme. This is kind of funny. The goat is also rolling for initiative, by the way.
I mean the sheep.
Yeah, did I say goat? The sheep, yep. The sheep was... this is a behind-the-scenes look. The sheep was originally a goat in my notes when I was first drafting the session, but I changed it towards the end.
I've exited everything, so hopefully that's okay.
Welcome back. Alright.
Probably still gonna freeze.
So, let me just grab the monster manual. Hold on, because... it's a powerful dragon. I can also give you a nicer description of what it looks like.
Yay.
Right before we get into who's going when in the initiative order. So it's very, very large. It's very dark. You can't tell its colors, but it's got sort of these phantomy sort of flames almost looking things coming off of it. It's like a smoking almost dragon. Looks really menacing. It's got glowing eyes, glowing mouth. Looks pretty it looks very, very strong. Nothing like any of you have ever seen before. Only stuff you've heard about in Legends. None of you have ever seen a dragon. Or anything similar to this. Until kind of this whole ordeal has occurred. Initiative order. So first in the initiative order, according to the initiative rolls, if we're doing natural 20s first, just because it's a natural 20, if you guys are the same, then we'll say core is first.
Okay. What can I cast? I'm a level 1. Okay, hold on. The problem is, like, my spells for some reason aren't loading on D&D Beyond. So I've only got the titles of the spells. It's not a good day for me technically.
Oh.
Now my camera's not freezing anymore, so that's good.
I'll keep the dragon page open.
Okay, I think I can do this. Do I want to do that? No, I don't want to do that. Okay. Sorry, 1 sec.
That's alright, go for it. That natural 20 persuasion roll, though.
And it still didn't do shit.
Well, it initiated the fight sequence, not gonna lie.
Ooh.
Okay.
Or at least
I'm just gonna
provoke it
try
really
it.
early.
Am I gonna do this? I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna try and cast Friends on the dragon.
Friends and the dragon. Okay, what does Friends do?
Okay, let me just pull it up, because again, it's not loading on my page. So for the duration, you have advantage on all charisma checks directed at one creature. Oh wait, no, it's technically hostile, so it's not gonna work, I don't think.
It is very hostile.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna hold my turn until it attacks me or one of my allies, because I don't know what I'm gonna do, and I don't want to take up more time.
Okay. So hold your turn or hold an action?
I want to hold my turn.
Alright, easy. Next in the order is Ilya.
Okay. Can I grab the sheep and run?
You can definitely grab the sheep.
My other thought is if I'd like to, I don't know, make ominous whisper sounds behind the dragon's ears using thaumaturgy.
Is that that would be an action, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I will let you either grab the sheep as an action or use your thaumaturgy.
Yeah, I'm not that good. Okay, so we're gonna make the ominous whispering sounds just behind the dragon to try and get it to turn around and run.
Okay. Is there anything you have to roll in order to get this to work?
No, thaumaturgy's just thaumaturgy.
Alright.
I only have one spell.
I know. But hopefully not for long. I accidentally closed the page. Okay, hold on.
That's level 3, but hopefully we'll get there.
I will just have a quick look at the dragon's stats and decide how the dragon will react to this.
Like,
I mean,
Would I have-
it's not its turn, but it'll look around, I guess. Kind of briefly, as it's sort of like, it'll kind of flinch and look as you make the noise. And you can use movement on your turn if you want to start running.
yep, start and running.
Alright. Next in the
If there's
initiative,
anything I can hide behind, that's where I'm headed.
there is goop everywhere, there isn't much to hide behind. The whole world is kind of melting, it looks like.
Ugh.
But,
That's just a me reaction. That's not an Elia
Yeah.
reaction. Elia's like, this is weird.
it is pretty weird. Alright, next in the order is the sheep. And the sheep will hold an action until the dragon moves. After the sheep is Baron.
Casts hideous laughter. The dragon.
Oh my, okay, what does that do?
Creature of my choice can perceive everything as hilariously funny and falls into fits of laughter. Saving throw.
Say, what's the saving throw?
Saving throw.
You say wisdom?
Wisdom.
Okay. Alright. Oh my god, I gotta stop closing this page. At least I remember what page it is. Du-du-du-du-du-du. What is its wisdom modifier? Oh, it's got no wisdom modifier. It's a 16.
Oh, never mind.
Saves? Doesn't work. The dragon seems unaffected by your attempts to make it find everything hilarious. Last in the order, with an initiative roll of a natural 1, is the dragon. And as it attempts to move, right now everybody is kind of, well, not everybody, but the sheep itself that hasn't been picked up is within a very short range of the dragon. So as the dragon starts to look like it's about to make a move and move towards you to perform a crazy multi-attack, which would most certainly kill you in one blow, probably, the sheep looks at all of you, and as soon as it does this,
I gave you a massage sheet. Come on.
as the sheep looks in your general direction, there's a blinding white light in all of your vision. And you feel kind of dizzy and nauseous for a second as this happens. And the atmosphere sort of starts to change. And there's still a blinding white light that's kind of starting to fade from your vision. You don't really know what happened or what the sheep did. But as you sort of regain your vision, you start to notice from your peripherals towards the center of your vision again, the color of the world starts to seep back in. And you don't see the dragon, or the sheep, or any of the environment that was around you before. Instead, you find yourselves in a completely different room, somewhere else, with a completely different atmosphere. And this room is a lot different from any place you've been so far. Just looking around, it's a very small room in which all three of you find yourselves at this point. There are bookshelves on all walls, rising from the ground all the way up to the ceiling. Doesn't seem like there's a door anywhere. It just seems like it's bookshelves on all sides. The ceiling itself is very far off the ground. The room itself is very small and cramped and compact, maybe 20 feet across in both directions, length and width. There is one kind of cutout in the wall where a fireplace resides, which is currently lit, and there's a flame like a light and a warmth emanating throughout the room. It smells like a library, and it also smells a little bit like death, because on the ground in front of you there is a corpse, it seems like, and some sort of red liquid. Looking around, you also see a bottle on the ground, which looks like it has spilled partially. Aside from that, there isn't much else in this room.
I just want to say ew and get as far away from the body as possible.
Alright, you can move about 5 or 10 feet in any direction away from the body.
Can I climb on top of anything?
You can climb on top of the body.
Can I climb on top of Ilya?
I mean, you can try to, certainly.
Okay, I tried to jump up on Ilya. I don't want to be near the blood.
Okay, Ilya, you can either try go with the flow and make this work, or you can try dodge core.
Nah, I'll just give Cora a boost.
Alright.
Yay! I sit on Ilya's shoulder, very happy.
Alright, so you're very happy on top of Ilya's shoulders, looking down at this corpse. Just looking at it from what you can see, it seems to be the corpse of kind of a tan, dark-haired, possibly human male wearing. It's Karul. wearing royal blue robes. Sorry, not royal robes. Well, they might be royal. You don't know. They're royal blue robes with a gold trim along the sides. They look simple but regal and very very posh, I guess. Wearing long brown boots with a subtle but intricate kind of floral pattern covering them as well, to kind of match the collar of the shirt that you can see he's wearing underneath the robes from the backside, which is all you can see.
Baron goes.
What?
Need to.
I think Baron is disgusted.
Disgusted.
Yeah,
Okay.
like- Then he proceeds to do an investigation check.
All right. You investigate. You investigate the
The
corpse.
body.
Natural 1. 17.
17.
Okay, so with a 17, kind of inspecting the body, with an investigation that high, one thing that does strike you immediately is that although this body definitely seems to be not alive, there doesn't seem to be any sort of kind of indication of a wound or anything like that in terms of like a killing blow. You can't really see anything like a stab wound. He's not bleeding out or anything like that. Kind of patting the body down, you do notice that the legs of this poor fellow are fractured from kind of feeling around. You do also find kind of a few items on this person's person. You notice that he's carrying, or you find that he's carrying, or was carrying, a bookmark, a day's worth of rations, and a note with 2 dot points scrunched up in his hand.
I inspect the note.
Alright, you look at the note, and I don't think you can read it. I think. Hold on. What languages do you know, actually?
Well,
I know.
goblin.
Did you say common and goblin?
As well.
Abyssal.
Abyssal? Okay, you cannot read the note. It seems very simple. It looks like it's just a few words. But they are in a script that you can't read.
You can show it to us. Well, maybe
Show
just
it.
more.
Yeah.
You say you show it to Ilya?
Oops.
Okay.
And I was like, what do you make of this?
Alright, Ilya, you look at it, and how do you react?
I hold it up, and then I hold it up to Core.
Okay, I take it.
Core,
And
you
can
can
I read it?
You can indeed read it. You notice
Yay.
that it is written in Elvish.
Woohoo! My native language.
Yeah.
None of that common here.
Like comment. So you can read it. The note says, "Find Drumorgar, kill Drumorgar."
Drew Morgar, how do you spell that?
Druemorgar.
Wait. D-R what?
Drue
U-E. Yeah.
Morgar.
Find Drew Morgar. Kill. I feel like this is important.
I mean, who knows? Maybe it's a red herring.
Yeah, it's always good to write this down.
I like how I'm saying that
Note.
about my own clues.
Note in dead body room.
The dead
I
body.
convey this information to Baron. Did you say there was a red liquid on the floor?
Yep.
But it's not blood.
You can investigate it.
I asked Baron to investigate it. Baron, what's on the floor?
On me.
What?
any blood on me.
He doesn't want to get blood. I think.
Refuses.
Relatable. I look down at Ilya. Ilya, would you mind taking a look?
Yeah, I would like to take a look at the red liquid.
And
All
just
right.
hold on.
How familiar with beverages is Ilya?
Decently so.
Decently so. You can tell it's
Ilya's. I
yeah.
would say Ilya was kind of thinking, "There's no wounds. This might be poison," which is why Ilya's not touching the rations.
I'm proficient in poisonous stuff.
Ooh, okay. Well, looking at the red liquid, you kind of gather, and from looking around, there is a bottle here, which seems to be a wine bottle that is spilled on the ground, and the liquid is kind of coming from the vague area of the bottle. The bottle itself, because of the way it's shaped, it isn't broken, so there is still liquid inside. Seems like it's probably fallen from somewhere and spilled liquid around. You would guess that this being a red wine bottle, this liquid on the floor, is red wine.
Can I investigate the red wine bottle?
Sure. So, you can probably just look at it. I don't think there's like... Well, you can actually... You know what? You can roll an investigation check.
Could I roll an intelligence check to see if I'm catching on that this isn't blood and it might be poison?
Sure.
Just see if I can assist at all. Okay, 17 plus... Plus 3, because I'm intelligent for once. It's a 20.
Yep, okay, so with the dirty 20, you do kind of get the idea that since there doesn't appear to be a wound, at least not on the back of this body that's lying face down, that either, from your deductive skills, the wound is hidden, or he's been poisoned.
Okay. Well, Ilya, go first and I'll do my poison stuff after.
That was a 12 minus 1, 11.
11? Okay. You can look at the label of this bottle and you kind of look at the bottle and you inspect it more or less. From what you can tell, it's a fairly normal red wine bottle. It seems to be of this slightly more luxurious variety. Even with your roll, you can tell that. Everybody's seen an expensive wine and an Aldi cheap wine. Hold on, I do have a description for the label itself. It has a simple dark design with a white outline of a dragonborn. Like a little head, kind of a profile view. And there is a name of a wine underneath the picture, which you cannot read. I'm always like tempted to tell you, like, it says this underneath, but then I have to remember, like, wait a minute, no.
Yeah, Ilya can't read.
Illiterate.
Except for thieves can't. That's it.
Yep, true. That's all you can gather. From your roll, that's as much as you can tell. It looks like it's got a label on it, and that's what the label looks like.
I'm gonna hold it up and show it to everybody. The guy turned into a dragon. This has a dragon.
Wow, it looks like my good friend Shrekimus.
Oh no.
I love that. I love the crossover. That's so cool.
The crossover.
That opens up so many questions.
It's a side profile of Shrekimus on the bottle.
Can I collect a bit of the poison in one of my poison vials to examine it? I can scoop a little bit.
If you're making the assumption that this liquid is the poison, then you can scoop up the red wine.
Okay, so -1. And what check would it be if I wanted to, like, investigate that? Just seeing what's in my poisonous kit.
Maybe
just knows
medicine or nature. I'd accept either one, I think.
Which one am I better at?
I don't know how if you've got a background in dealing with poison.
Yeah. My nature's slightly better, so I guess I'll use nature. Ooh, 16 plus 3. 19. My maths is really
Okay.
slow. I'm sorry, guys.
with your nature check, so the way I'm going to do this is if you roll for medicine, then I'll check your poison knowledge, and with your nature check, I'll check your how much of this is like natural wine kind of knowledge. So inspecting
Okay,
it.
take one off. Take one off. I'd rather know the first one.
Okay. So you're investigating to see if it's poison
So it would
using
be
a
an
medicine roll. Okay, so even with your 18, you can tell pretty easily that this wine has been spiked.
Okay. Spiked. Can I see any indicators of with what?
With the specific type of poison, it seems kind
Or
of
the
hard.
family of poison?
The family of poison. Can you give me a quick rundown of the families again? It's like family.
Oh.
This might take a while.
Don't worry, hold on. I'll quickly do this. I had this written down, but not in my notes, and it's on my computer.
Yeah, maybe it's better because otherwise I'd go for ages.
Yep. Where?
Can I look around for like a goblet that
You can definitely have a look around.
Been swigging from the bottle. We don't know.
Well, no, like that's kind of where Ilya's thoughts are. Like this guy's really fancy. Why is he drinking straight from the bottle?
Brian definitely drinks straight from the bottle. That's besides the point.
Yep. Okay. Okay. So you rolled an 18. So this kind of poison. Okay. This isn't a poison that you've ever encountered before, but you suspect that it's a type of wyvern poison.
Ooh.
That being said, the part of the reason why even people who deal with poison haven't encountered poison such as this is because wyverns aren't really around kind of anymore.
Mm-hmm.
So having wyvern poison, which you do know from just general poison knowledge, needs to be extracted from a wyvern. It's a bit weird that there is wyvern poison in this man's drink.
Okay.
Ilya, did you
I
say you
relay
wanted to look for a goblet? Sorry, what were you saying?
Wait, me?
Yeah.
I said I relay this information.
Okay. Ilya, did you say
Yeah,
you were looking
Ilya.
for a goblet or something?
Yeah, Ilya from time with some fancy people is like
Mhm.
most fancy people drink out of glasses rather than
Mm-hmm.
straight from the bottle.
Yes, that is true. Looking around the
So-
room, you don't see anything specific, or you don't see anything. You don't see anything on the ground. Kind of. You just from looking around, it looks like you're surrounded by bookshelves. There's a fireplace there. The corpse is there, still kind of unmoved.
Can
If
we
you-
kick it over?
You can. Did you guys loot the body, or did you just leave everything on it?
Well, now we know it's not blood. I think Core's okay to touch it.
Okay.
But he kicks it. He doesn't touch it with his hands until he's sure.
Alright, you do know from investigating the red wine that there is poison in it, so just be careful.
But is there poison? There's no wine on him, is there?
The liquid on the ground is what you put into the vial.
Can I?
Unless you want to say that it's from the bottle, but the bottle and the ground it seems to be kind of that it poured out of the bottle itself.
So is he covered in the wine, basically?
His front side kind of is, yeah.
Can I kick him over via his thighs?
Yes, you can.
I do that.
You kick him over, and the one kind of confirming thing that you find is that there isn't any wound on his front, so you can kind of confirm that he has been poisoned. There is also red wine stains kind of around his mouth, and you do get a good look at his face, so enough to sort of see that he's fairly young. Can't tell exactly how old, maybe mid-20s. It isn't a face that you recognize. In fact, this whole room is kind of a place that you don't recognize. You do, however, not see anything that he could have drunk the poison out of except for the bottle itself. The only other kind of items of interest that you've taken are the note and the bookmark itself, which is a very peculiar looking bookmark as well.
What's on the bookmark?
So if you have a look at the bookmark, if you inspect it, now that you can see in color again, which is important, the bookmark has a very deep red color with blue and gold vines painted on it. kind of it's a very specific pattern that stands out. And in the center of this bookmark, there's a little kind of a flame.
I pocket it.
Alright, you pocket it.
History check? Can I do a history check?
History check? Sure, go for it. Is this to see if you recognize what this kind of bookmark is? You might actually know.
Oh, so I rolled a 20 thing.
You rolled a what?
For nothing.
A what?
20.
A 20? Okay. Well, no, I was going to base it on your roll. Okay. Coming from a sort of noble background, you do recognize what this is. This isn't just a regular bookmark. This is kind of a secret code, almost. So, one way that nobles would have hid little treasures in the past would have been to hide them in fake books. And with your role, you know that one way of kind of keeping track of where these treasures would have been hidden would have been to create these sort of fake bookmarks with very intricate designs, matching cover jackets, and leaving little clues on the bookmarks themselves, with a way to open the books themselves, I guess. So, having that sort of knowledge, you can inspect the bookshelf.
I inspect the bookshelf.
I
Alright.
asked Baron what he's doing.
Like you. I mean,
I can't hear you, Quinny.
okay, fine. Like you. I mean, you. Just know that this is our hidden code, and let's go look for a book.
I didn't give him the bookmark. I'm still holding it, but I'm like, okay. I still put it in my pocket.
Alright, so, with a lot of those lines cutting out, I'm going to presume that you guys...
I kind of just guessed what was being said, but I think I got it.
I'm sorry, Quiddy. I don't know what's going on with your mic. Anyway, okay.
Great.
So, you guys have the bookmark, and you have the whole kind of arena to yourselves. What do you want to do?
Investigation for books with the book.
That
the
match
same
the...
pattern.
Okay, cool. Roll an investigation check for me.
I'm doing it too.
Alright.
Okay.
Anyone who wants to look for
Nice.
the book, feel free to roll.
10 plus 5.
20! Natural 20.
Natural 20? Ilya? Alright. Ilya and Core, you guys kind of start looking around, and Baron, as you guys start looking, immediately your eyes pinpoint to a specific point on the bookshelf. You immediately kind of notice a book spine that seems to match the intricate pattern of the bookmark that you came across.
Oh.
Light issues.
Oh no, it just turns off like
Okay,
automatically as soon as I don't.
Oh no,
if
yeah, I was
I'm-
there. I remember that happens.
Yeah, it's like if I'm idle, it will just turn off.
Okay, you do notice a book jacket, book cover, sorry, a book spine on the bookshelves that seems to match the design of the bookmark itself pretty closely. And looking around, you also kind of notice that the other books that seem to look kind of similar don't really match it quite as well as this singular book that you've spotted does. There is a catch, however, this book is very high up. It's very close to the top of the bookshelves, which you cannot reach. It is 20 feet off the ground in the bookcase. But you can see it.
Yes. Mage hand to bring it down.
You can certainly try. Use Mage Hand to bring it down. Alright, so you cast Mage Hand, and you use Mage Hand to whisk the book down to you. Gracefully so. You bring it down all the way, and looking at the book, it seems like a regular book. It's got a very nice design. The deep red and blue colors and the gold vines all seem to kind of match the bookmark itself. Looking at it, you do see that it does have a lock. The book itself seems to be kind of shut closed and locked with a little clasp, which has a keyhole. Apart from that, looks like a regular book.
I tried to pick the with my locked pick.
With your, you have a, okay, yeah, okay, try. What would you, okay, so you have you have a lockpick? Okay, go for it.
We're all just thieves.
Like a hand.
8?
8.
18.
18? Okay. You use your lockpick and you shimmy the lock. And you do your absolute best. And you really try. And it seems like it might be working and coming undone. But it seems like there's a little bit more than just the lock that's keeping this book closed. It seems like it's just within reach. But you can't quite manage, even with a roll of 18, to unlock it with just a lockpick. Which
Or
is...
to give me the bookmark with a persuasion roll.
I would like to counter this in any way I can because I want the book.
Alright, you can feel free to counter. So,
What counters? Is it charisma?
sure. You can roll a charisma save? Maybe charisma save against the persuasion.
I'm gonna use Brian's dice because it works better.
And we'll just go, whichever one is higher wins out.
Okay.
Also meets it, beats it, we'll say.
18 plus 2 is 20.
Queen, what did you get? 22?
22.
Oh, just... Wait, 20.
20.
Oh,
So wait, Core, what did you get again?
20.
20. Well, okay, you know what? If it's the same, I'll let you decide how you let this play out.
Wait. Actually, I want to use my unsettling visage to impose disadvantage on Baron as he's trying to persuade me.
Alright, yeah, go for it.
And I make a scary face.
Okay, never mind.
And that's the once a day I can do that.
Baron is dissuaded from the persuasion.
Okay, cool. I want to take the book.
Alright. I guess we need to wait for Baron to see if Baron's gonna hand the book over. Ba-da-ba-ba-da-beep. Ba-da-ba-do-ba-ba.
I'm gonna keep Brian's dice here because it's a good dice.
Hello. I'm
Hello.
back.
Welcome back. Alright, so... I was about to say Brian. Core wants to try to take the book off of
Brian's
you.
not here.
Yep.
So, you're gonna have to roll something to try to get it for Baron, I think. Unless Baron wants to willfully give the book away.
There's a chip in my dice.
Oh.
Oh.
My Brian dice.
That wasn't there before, was it?
I don't think so. One of the corners is like very slightly. I don't think you can see it. It's so small.
Oh.
No, you can't really see.
Yeah, I saw it
Yeah.
just in the
Yeah.
light
Reflection.
reflection.
Yeah.
Well, it'll give it character, but Are you
No!
Are you rolling it in the dice roller?
Yeah. I think maybe I dropped it at some point.
Okay.
They made out of stone, so
Be careful. I'm really paranoid about doing that to my stone dice.
yeah. I should
Alright.
use the resin ones. Just no.
Okay, Baron, are you gonna hand over the book or do you want to try keep it?
Yeah, he gives it.
Oh,
Yay.
okay. So, you've got the book. What do you want to do with it?
I go sit in the corner and try and open it with a bookmark.
Alright, how do you want to try to open it with the bookmark?
Is there any like slot for it to go in?
The book itself is kind of a slot for the bookmark.
Okay.
But,
I
okay,
put the bookmark in the book.
as you try to put it in the book, you notice that it doesn't really go into like almost any page. But as you slide it in kind of to the front, it does sort of start to slide in, although it's kind of very rough, and the bookmark itself is kind of bending as you're trying to push it into this book that's clasped closed. Roll just a general perception check for me as you're kind of looking at yourself doing this.
Okay. One sec, guys. Help me pick a dice. Which one?
I like the one on the right for me.
Right.
This
Yeah.
one? Thanks. It's a 2. Plus 2. It's a 4.
4?
I've rolled quite a lot of 2s today.
You're having a hard time putting the bookmark in. That's all you can see. The book and the
I look
bookmark
sadly
look
at
cute.
Ilya, like, please help me.
Can I attempt to do? I don't know. Can I perception check the thing?
Yeah,
while-
perception check
while
the book and the
watching Core?
bookmark.
It's not bad. That's a 15.
15? You do notice kind of, as you're looking at Core painfully trying to shove this bookmark into a closed book with a lot of effort but little success, you do see that the designs of the bookmark and the book don't exactly match. The vines and the colors and everything and the patterns do, but the bookmark does have kind of a big kind of a symbol of like a flame, like a flaming sort of little, not quite like a fireball, but like a candle top.
Should we set the book on fire?
You can, I mean, you can go for it if you like, but you do
There's a
see
fireplace.
those two differences.
Does Ilya say there's a fireplace?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna go put the book in the fireplace.
Alright, you walk up to the fireplace. Do you want to check the fireplace before you put it in, or are you just throwing it in?
I'll perception check the fireplace.
Alright,
That's okay.
roll a perception check for me.
I'm gonna use Core's actual dice. 17 plus perception's 2. 19. It's such
19.
weak perception bonuses.
Still, that's pretty high. 19 is good. Alright,
Yes, but if it was Brian, it would have been a 28. Okay, it's fine.
as you go to chuck the book into the fire, you do see a glimmering from inside the flames, kind of like a gold, shiny flickering, like as if there's something, in the fire, kind of sitting there.
Is there a fire poker?
Yeah, there's a fire poker.
I pick up the fire poker and prod it.
All right, you prod it, and it sounds kind of metal.
Can I flick it out of the fireplace?
Sure. Roll sleight of hand check.
Okay.
I don't know if this is the right check for this, but this is...
15 plus 1, 16.
You skillfully use the poker to fish out
Why am
whatever
I
it is.
rolling good checks for like the weird things?
I don't know.
Bad checks.
I don't know. Alright. Poking around the fireplace, you manage to pull out something very interesting. You do pull out a goblet that was missing earlier, which Ilya was hypothesizing about.
I hold it up to Ilya like, hey!
Fancy people, see? They drink with goblets.
Yes.
Alright, as you hold it up and say "see," you'll take 1d4 of fire damage from the...
But I'm holding it on a poker.
No, if you're holding it on a poker, it's fine. I'm just kidding. But I was just imagining you going like,
He's not gonna pick it up. He has a, what?
guys!
17 intelligence.
No,
He's not gonna pick up a fiery goblet.
it is glowing hot.
He's not touching it.
But it's a
I
goblet.
want to put it down on the floor.
You put it down on the floor.
Yes.
It's a very weird looking goblet.
Arcana check?
Yeah, you can Arcana check it.
The one shot of checks. Natural 20 plus 5, 25.
25? It's not
I never
magical
roll
at all.
natural 20.
It's not magical in the slightest, and you know that for a fact.
Why do I waste my good checks?
I was ready to give
Dude,
you
he's-
false hope if you rolled badly, but you rolled too well.
Hmm.
100% not
Dude.
magical.
Not magical at all.
We check on the goblet.
You want to do a what check? A what?
History, I think.
History? Okay. Yeah, okay. Roll a history check. Four? Okay. This isn't something you've ever encountered. You don't really recognize this type of goblet specifically. With a 4, probably assume that it's just some sort of type of goblet that fancy rich people use to drink wine and other alcohol from.
Mm-hmm.
It looks very shiny, very gold. Ilya, I want you to roll a perception check as well, actually, as you're looking at the goblet.
Yeah. That's not bad. That is an 18, yeah.
Ooh, 18. Okay, yeah. Looking at the goblet, you do see something that catches your eye specifically. You don't care about the goblet all that much. You have your dispositions that you care about. You do notice that there is a very kind of popped out sort of what looks like to be an embossed engraving of some kind, something. It looks like there's a key shape embedded into this goblet. It's very weird. You haven't seen a goblet with a key shape in it before.
Like, where on the goblet is this key shape?
If you imagine, like, if you with your perception, imagine this is like the goblet. It's like it's glued on. That's what it looks like.
Okay, I'm gonna hold up the goblet. I'm gonna hold and point it at the book, like with the key shape.
Okay.
Has it cooled off at this point?
I'm gonna say that you wait long enough, and you probably blow on it a little bit, and it cools down enough for you to hold it, and you pick it up, and as you pick it up and lift it off the ground, after it's been sitting in the heat for so long, the key shape inside the goblet pops out and falls onto the floor, before you get a chance to really hold it up to the book closely. And it makes a clinging sound as the key falls out of it.
Yeah, want the key.
Alright, you pick up the key. You've got a key.
Ilya, not even in a regular game, finds a key. Ilya is gonna offer the key very cautiously to Core.
Okay. Core's just touched that Ilya's giving him a key, and then he's gonna try and open the book thing with it.
Alright, you try shoving the key, and wouldn't you know it, the book opens. And it does
what's
work.
inside?
As you open the book and you look at the front cover, there is nothing written on it. You turn a few pages, nothing on the first few pages, until you hit a point where your fingers kind of jam into the side as you can't turn like another page, and you open this kind of series of pages that seem to be stuck together, and there's kind of a cutout inside the book. It's like a sort of faux book, if you will, that's used more as a sort of secret storage container. And inside this container is another key.
Can I have the first key back?
Yes.
Thank you.
Core takes out the second key.
The second key you take out
Disappointed.
is... You know what, Leia? You can do a key check if you like. If you're familiar with what keys are used for, I'll let you check for what this key looks like. Because this key itself is kind of... It's not as shiny, it's not as regal. It doesn't look like it's anything for... anything near as fancy as opening a secret book. It looks a little bit more rustic, more iron, less shiny. But still somewhat shiny.
Core just drops the key into Ilya's hand.
Ilya is very happy. What should I roll? Add anything to a key check since
We can,
Ilya's...
you know what, I had this idea of creating like custom modifiers for you guys over the course of the game, and you know what, we can create a custom key checking modifier if you want. So
Could it be plus the proficiency?
it'll be a proficient skill, I reckon. So I want you to roll a d4, and it'll be that plus whatever your proficiency bonus is.
Cool. So we're looking at a 17.
Okay, sweet. You look at this key, and also whatever this bonus is, you can put it into your character sheet as a key checking thing, whatever you want to call it.
Key bonus.
We can I wanted to give Core a gem checking one as well at some point, which I think will come in handy.
Yeah.
For things that I think your characters would be naturally good at identifying. And I have
Making cocktails. That could be a bonus.
making cocktails, the cocktail bonus.
Mixology levels.
But I have fun ideas that I will disclose throughout. Anyway, so with your 17 key check roll, looking at this key, you do recognize it as a type of key that is generally used for opening things like doors, much more so than anything like treasure chests or anything like that. Kind of locked doors, maybe cabinets, but generally kind of doors and maybe windows, but mostly doors of all kinds.
Hey guys,
Hey.
sorry, but I need to put my dog to sleep.
Oh, that's okay.
Your dog?
Oh.
Yes, I just got a dog.
Oh,
Wait, that's your dog?
oh.
Oh.
I've seen the snaps. It's so cute.
Yeah, I thought you were joking. You always refer to everyone's dogs as your dog.
Yes, it's actually my dog,
Oh,
and I
that's
need to
cute.
put him to sleep now.
Okay.
Go for it.
As in, it might take a while, so...
That's okay. I think we've got a little bit.
Okay.
Okay,
We'll catch you up on
I'll
anything
be-
that happens.
Guys,
Bye.
Alright, hopefully Baron will be back with us shortly. Anyway, for the time being, you've got another key, and you know that it's used for door opening. Oh, well, you don't know that for sure. But with your
Okay.
roll of 17, that's a very fair assumption you can gather. So,
Can I look for a door?
yeah, roll your choice of perception or investigation, whatever you think you'll be doing.
I would love a perception check.
Alright, roll a perception check for me.
Okay, that is a 16 for perception.
Okay, so you're looking around, and looking at all the walls, you see that every single wall is covered in books. There's a bookshelf reaching on every side from the floor to ceiling. You kind of, it's a bit weird thinking about how this room can even exist like this if there's no door in. Looking at the ground, you don't really see anything. You just see kind of where the corpse is. You see a lot of wine stains, but you do look up, and you do see, although it's far away and it's very high up, you can't really make out whether or not there is a door on the ceiling, but you do see what looks like to be a metal keyhole up there on the ceiling that you can recognize. You're very familiar with how those look, and from this distance you can still tell. So I think you can make the safe assumption that there might be some sort of door up there.
I would like to climb up there.
All right, you've got your boots. Feel free to climb.
Yep.
All right.
I will tell Core. I will be right back.
Alright, since you are traversing a bookcase, I will get you to roll either acrobatics or athletics of your choice.
I would love to roll an acrobatics check.
Okay, go for it.
That is a 17.
Alright, with 17, occasionally the books kind of start to slide out a bit, but for the most part you keep your grip. You use your hands to stabilize yourself as you use your feet to kind of rock climb up this wall. You figure from your roll that it's probably safer to do that than to just directly walk like flagpole like style up the thing, because if you attach to a book that happens to fall out, it might not be the safest, so you end up making it all the way up to the top and looking down from the ceiling, which is 30 feet in the air. This is very high up. This is a very long drop. From this distance, looking down, you can kind of also, you looking down. Actually, wait, no, you guys moved the body, didn't you? You see the body from where you are. You see it moved. You kind of see everything below you. There isn't much more to this room. Looking up onto the ceiling, you do see that there is a trimming outside. Outside. There's a trimming outlining a sort of square in the ceiling, and there is a lock from your vantage point on this side that seems to be holding whatever this flap is closed. From your knowledge of doors and from being on Captain Featherbeard's ship, this kind of looks like a sort of trapdoor.
I'm gonna look back down to Core and be like, "What? Watch out! I'm about to open a thing."
And then,
step backwards out of the way.
as you say that, you hear a muffle from the other side. And wait, hold on, let me just quickly check something. Oh, you got, okay. With your passive perception, you do hear it. You do hear kind of a murmur of like, did you hear something?
Actually, okay, so hearing that, I'm gonna kind of gesture at Core and just be like this.
You hear a silence from the other side for a bit.
Giving Core the opportunity to hide if he wants to.
And then you hear the talking kind of continue a little bit. You can't really make out too well what they're saying, but that statement came through pretty clear.
Okay, can I, like, kind of get up against it a little bit and, like, listen in?
Yeah, you can try. Roll something for me. Roll a... Do you want to roll perception? I think perception would work in this case.
I like my perception versus investigation, because perception is +4 and investigation is -1.
Oh, we're opposite.
Ooh.
Yeah. That is... Sorry. It's a 17 +4. Why am I having trouble with...
It's very good. It's 21.
21.
You've got it.
Yeah.
Alright. Listening through, even from this distance, it's kind of hard to hear, even though you heard that kind of come through earlier. But as you're listening, you hear a voice from your perception roll. You can tell that the voices are coming from a bit further away from the trapdoor than you first might have thought. They seem to be coming from quite a short while away, maybe 30 feet away or something like that. You do kind of recognize one of the voices, though. There are two voices that seem to be talking to each other. One's a lot more sort of rough and sandpapery in a way. Kind of seems like a voice similar to somebody else's that you might have heard before. And I want you to roll. Actually, you know what? If with your perception, I reckon you can tell. You recognize one of the voices. The other one sounds completely foreign. But one of the voices seems like it comes, or it sounds very close to the voice of Captain Stronghand.
I'm. I'd like to very cautiously now open the door.
Alright, you go for it. You unlock the door. Roll for me a stealth check.
Yes. Yes, I will. Whoo! That's 14 plus 7.
Oh, these rolls. Yeah, okay, you're very quiet. Nobody hears you. You open the trapdoor. And from your vantage point, the lock is on your side. So as you kind of push open the door, it opens from the lock side, and it seems to hinge from the opposite side of the lock, if you can kind of imagine that. As you open
So
it,
opens up or opens down?
opens up as you push into it.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to be a trapdoor in the sense that if you stand on top of it, it'll fall through, as it kind of seemed at first, but this is what you figured after kind of just testing it a bit. Or, well, just from unlocking it, it didn't fall open, so
Yeah.
you figure that it would push open. So you push it open, and
I don't want to push it open all the way. I just kind of want to like fingertips it and just
Yeah.
look through.
Okay, you fingertips it and you look through and you see a door from your point of view. Well, actually, wait. If the the wall is here, trapdoor is here. It's opening like this, and you're hanging on this wall, looking in like that and around.
No, I thought that Ely was actually standing on the ceiling, just crouched.
Oh yeah, okay, I get you. You're upside down, crouching and looking through. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're doing that. The blood is rushing to your head a little bit.
It probably looks really bizarre to Core down below.
It's like
Just this little like demon tail hanging out.
As you kind of peek through, you don't see anybody, which probably means that they're on the other side of the door. But from your perspective, you can see that there's a door on one side. There are some books, some papers, a little table on one side, and kind of walls on either side of you. You can't see one wall, which is the wall directly opposite the lock side, which is the hinge side of the door in the room above. From looking through, you can tell that the room itself that's above this room is quite a lot bigger, although nowhere near as high up. It's a much more normal sized room, although it's a lot wider, just like a regular room would be. Not so much like this drop that you're in currently. And you can hear the talking a little bit more clearly, and you can tell that it's coming from kind of from that side that you can't see just from opening the door. In fact, you could open the door the whole way and you still wouldn't be able to see that part particularly well, just because of its positioning.
Okay, I'm gonna lower the door back down,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to go back down to Core and say, I think that's our way out.
How high up is it again?
30 feet.
Well, you're gonna probably have to carry me.
I assume so.
Cole's just smiling, waiting.
Baron is there on the ground with you guys.
Oh, Baron's
Yeah.
still here.
Yeah, I
Baron's
assume
heavier.
that,
I mean,
I assumed that
How heavy is Cole? Let me just find out.
Elia was gonna have to help both of them up.
if you can find a way to do it.
You might easily be able to carry Cole because he's really light. Wait, let me check. He's 38 kilos. You can. It's pretty easy.
It's a light boy.
It's super small.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba.
So yeah, can like Baron and Core kind of climb up and Elia will spot them? Or we can take the time to do both of them individually?
Where do you want to leave? Okay, I'm gonna say that if you want, you can help them climb up this, like the. I mean, it's a bookshelf, so you can climb it like a sort of like a rock climb. I'm gonna say that
Yeah.
you can give them advantages on rolls regarding the climb
My
if you want.
Athletics is really bad.
I'll let you do
really bad.
athletics or acrobatics. for this.
My
But-
acrobatics is not much better.
But with Ilya helping you, I'll let you both, you and Baron, do it with advantage.
Okay.
It's gonna be like a rock climbing tutorial of sorts.
I don't want to climb. I don't like climbing. I'm just looking at it like,
I'll get you through the door, but
Okay.
Da-da-da-da-da.
What do I have to roll?
Athletics or acrobatics of your choice with advantage.
Oh, acrobatics, please. Well, I need the advantage because the first one was a natural one.
Whoa.
Okay. It's an 11.
I'm gonna say that it's very hard, takes a long time, you almost fall a few times, but
If it looks like Core is having trouble, Ilya will just carry him.
yeah, I'm gonna say that you carry parts of the way, and then once you guys are at the top, you kind of perch Core there, so that you can do
Core's
Baron
hair's
as
just
well.
like sticking out of it, and he looks just really upset.
It's a bit of a rough climb. It's like a first time rock climber.
Yeah.
But you just barely
Physical
make it up.
exertion He's not a fan of.
And you're up. You're at the top. I would get Baron to roll, but Baron isn't here.
Yeah.
What is... I'm just gonna check Baron's modifiers, just out of curiosity. He's got a +3 to acrobatics and a -1 to athletics. So,
We're all quite weak, aren't we?
oh, you have your strengths.
Okay.
Raw strength. Baron has a -1.
Yeah, I have a -1.
Baron and I have the Baron and Ilya have the same dexterity.
Ah, yeah, you do too. Interesting. I'm gonna say though that as well. I mean, we can roll for it to see if we really need to redact anything. But I'm gonna say that for the most part, unless Baron rolls like extremely low, that again takes quite a little while. Doesn't seem like he's climbed before, unless he rolls really, really well, in which case we'll redact that and say that he climbed amazingly. But either way, you help Baron out, and now the three of you are all near this trapdoor at the top. Core and Baron, you guys are both kind of hanging onto the books, stuck there on the wall. Ilya, you're having no trouble. You're kind of like walking on the ceiling. You've got this. In fact, the ceiling is easier to walk on than the bookshelves just because it's a flat surface.
Yeah. So I will push open the trapdoor, indicate quiet, and then pull them through.
Are you okay? Wait, are you going out into the room?
Into the room, yeah.
All right. Okay. So as you enter the room, hold on. Where are these notes? Why am I putting
Core's
these?
just
all over the place?
immediately smoothing out his hair, like, ugh. Didn't like that.
Du-du-du.
I will go ahead and say that Ilya has put their hair into like fun buns, just because that way it won't be like hanging in their face.
Oh,
Yeah.
I forgot. There's a funny thing that you would have actually seen, which I forgot to mention, but I wrote it in my notes. So while you were looking around the room initially, and we can say that you see this now again as well, there is a poster on one of the walls that I thought was blank for a second, but it doesn't have a poster. And the poster has a picture of that spiky fruit that you guys were asked by the captain to find initially. The poster also has text on it, which you can't read.
I want to take the poster.
You cannot reach the poster from where you are. If you want to walk into the room, you can go in.
Wait, any of us can't read it?
If you want to try to look through the trapdoor with, like, Ilya's help, I'll let you do it.
Is it? Wait, it's in the room we just came from?
No, it's in the next room.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to take a look.
I was going to say that Ilya might have seen it when Ilya was having a look. But, okay, if you have a look,
Okay.
you also see the same poster that I just described, except you also can read the text, which is just written in common. The text reads, "Have you any seeds for the exotic spiked sour fruit?" And then a big question mark in red. "You will be rewarded 200 GP per seed." And the 200 GP is in like big text with like little lines indicating like a glow kind of thing. Visit us at the KIA, the Royal Guard.
Wow. 200 GP per seed. Sorry, what was the KPIA?
Visit us at the KIA.
KIA. I don't know where I got P from.
And then it kind of is like, then at the and it says the Royal Guard, as if this is like authorized by them or this is like an advertisement that they've created.
I think I know why the captain wants the fruit now.
Yep. And unfortunately, none of you know what the KIA stands for. But that's what it says there. That's it. If you guys, at this point, if you're pushing the door open even further, using your previous stealth modifier, the other two fellows in the room do not notice anything. However, you do hear the conversation a little bit better.
They're in the room.
They're in the room. As you open the trapdoor, it gets a lot more. The talking gets a lot more clear, and they seem to be in a somewhat heated discussion.
In which case, when I pop my head back down to pull them up, I'll just be like,
Core thinks you're doing a peace sign and just does it back.
That's funny. I like that. That's good content. As you wait, so
Alia's just like,
Same.
it's a relationship. Oh boy.
so pulls Core through and then aims Core's like directs Core to where Core can see them.
Okay, how much of core are you pushing through?
Well, like Ilia, I assume, has to pull them up through the trapdoor.
Wait, are you in the room?
Yes.
Okay, the room is kind of open, and you can see to your right. Before you actually end up pulling anybody through. To your right.
Okay.
Just because your stealth is so high, and they can't see you with their freaking perceptions. You know what, actually? I'm gonna get one of them to roll, because one of them is facing your direction, although not looking at where you are.
I thought we were friends with Captain Stronghold.
Strong hand.
Strong hand.
I like Stronghold. Captain Stronghold. Friends is an interesting way to put it. Partners in crime, maybe.
Was he the guy that everyone thought was really hot because he had rippling muscles and weapons?
There was a guard that did think that, I'm pretty sure, yeah. He had many swords. He had like 3, I think. Well, his character stuff has it.
He had an excess of swords.
Yes, he does. He had a scimitar and 2 daggers, and you could see those on his person. He wore very minimal armor as well.
He's ready for a fight.
Oh yeah. You would have seen that he is talking. He's like his big, huge kind of bulking silhouette is facing another figure, a very kind of smaller. Wait, oh my god, where do I have my notes for this? Okay, so you recognize definitely now that one of these figures is Captain Stronghand. I was about to say Stronghold. Captain Stronghold.
I think I got that from Sky High or something. Continue.
Yeah, it's a cool name. You do notice from looking at him and just seeing this in this direction, he is very injured. He's like carrying a lot of wounds and scars, and he's bleeding kind of a fair bit at this point. And he's talking to another figure, an unfamiliar figure to you, and if anybody else in this party sees her, she's not familiar to any of you either. She's a very stern-looking female human? Maybe human? She's...
They only like humans, don't they?
Say again?
They only like humans, don't they?
From what you gathered, yeah, they're a bit weird around non-humans. But regardless, this one's a bit weird. She looks very young. Maybe in her 20s. Early 20s at that. With light brown hair. Her skin is green tinted, which is something that you haven't really seen for humans in general. It's a very kind of faint green.
He's anemic. Sorry.
But so that's what she looks like. And she's berating him.
Oh.
And she doesn't notice you. She's just talking with him. You can't hear what she's saying. She's talking very quietly. And he's kind of pleading with her. And you hear him mention her name. Lady Valentine. Please, we've done everything we can. We can't find him. And she's kind of looking at him with a unreadable expression and shaking her head. What are you doing?
Ilya is going to. Wait,
She hasn't noticed you, despite you being like only. You're kind of hiding like behind Captain
door.
Stronghand.
I turned Baron's hair orange.
They haven't seen Ilya as Ilya. They've only seen mysterious masked figure.
Mm.
Okay, before Ilya pulls
You haven't seen me
Cor-
either.
Yeah, they haven't seen
Or-
Core either.
Whoops.
or Baron through, there's a door right behind us, right?
It's not right behind you. It's a short walk.
Could just say hi, wave, slowly back at. Nice to see you. This was an accident.
You can certainly try. Diplomacy is the way to go.
I'd like to sneak. How light is this room?
How light is it? It's somewhat dim. It's being lit by candlelight from the walls. It's not very bright.
I'm
I know.
sorry, humans.
You can see clearly.
I can see clearly.
Yeah.
Not
I-
me.
You can see enough. It's if you have a look through the room, it's not
Wait,
it's not
I have
dark.
something to ask you in DMs. DM.
Okay.
This is
I
a
would
technical
like
question.
to I'm gonna poke my head back down, whisper, I'm gonna pull you through. It's gonna get real dark. Don't move, don't fall. Got it?
Okay. I still think we could be friendly. Oh,
Okay.
hey! Good timing.
So
I'm just
I would like to use thaumaturgy to
This is not something I don't know,
Dim.
so I just messaged Thomas.
Okay.
dim the candles in the room.
All right. You use thaumaturgy and you dim the candles in the room, and immediately in reaction to this, Captain Stronghand sort of turns around, and they stop talking as you do this. What do you wish to do at this point in time?
Well, basically- Ilya was trying to make the candles go out, pull Core and Baron through the trapdoor, and then guide them to the door that is behind us, the exit.
Core, you can see through the dark a little bit.
A little bit. Okay, sweet. I need to write that down. I'm still holding on to Ilya.
You can see through the dark surprisingly well. The room itself isn't too dark, even with the candles dimmed. Like, you can still see silhouettes and stuff like that. But the amount to which you can see through the darkness isn't something that you've really considered too much to be too weird.
Okay.
Okay, sorry, what did you say again, Ilya? You wanted to...
So basically, Ilya's trying to turn the lights out,
Yep, that's done.
pull Core and Baron up through the trapdoor.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry,
Yes.
I can't. And then
Okay.
like rush them through the exit door. Or
Alright.
the only other door.
So you pull... Oh, hello! Hello! Hi! Oh my god. Sorry. I'm sorry. I'm gonna regain my composure. It's so cute! Is it Kai? Am I remember the names?
Kay.
Right? K? K. Okay.
Yeah.
I remember now. I'm gonna dedicate...
Oh my
I'm
God,
gonna write it
Kay.
to memory. Okay. So, you managed to do this fairly successfully. The lights are turned out. There's a... as all the lights kind of turn out. And the room dims to almost complete darkness. Light only coming through the doors on either side. You do notice as you kind of pop out through, you do see that behind the desk, at which Captain Stronghand and Lady Valentine, who you've now learned the name of, are standing. Behind that desk, there's another door, and to your other side is the door you originally saw. You rush towards that door.
It's a broom closet.
There are... you do notice, as you try to push the door open, that it doesn't open. And there also There is light coming through the kind of cracks of the door, so it seems like there's light coming through. The door doesn't open as you push on it. At this point, you hear... That's just something you want to do immediately, upon having realized this.
I don't think I can get this lock open in that little time.
Yeah, I mean...
I'm good, I'm not that good.
Before, I mean, as you rush towards the door and push against it with Baron and... Actually, this is gonna be weird because Baron isn't here. Let's say Baron is still hiding and hasn't... Oh, no, if you pulled him through, Baron's here. Baron's with you guys.
Baron's just being uncharacteristically quiet.
He's paying attention to orders.
He
At
knows
this
his
point, you hear a snap of the fingers, and all the lights regain their flame. You see Lady Valentine posing as if she had just clipped her fingers, and Stronghand...
It's magic. Of course, like...
Stronghand himself, looking fairly beat down, is looking at you with, kind of confused expression. Although, not one of hostility. Or at least, not that you can tell, just from looking at him passively.
I do the peace sign that Ilya was doing earlier.
He does, however, he is taken aback by Baron's appearance with his orange hair. As he kind of looks at him. Lady Valentine then turns to Captain Stronghand and says, "Intruders I see. Prove to me your worth now, Captain." And she turns around and opens the door, leading behind the desk. And...
Where does it go?
Can't tell from here.
Okay, cool.
Just from looking straight ahead, you can kind of see like there's another lit room back there. You see like some sort of furniture. Can't tell too much just from looking from this distance. You are kind of also dazed by the fact that this plan didn't completely work out, but you did try. She shuts the door. Captain Stronghand looks at you with a solemn expression. And I want all of you to roll initiative.
Oh, I was gonna be like, hey, my dude.
You can still do that on your turn as an action if you wish to, hey, my dude him.
16.
Alright, hold on. Let me write down your things.
Cool.
Alright.
Because it's...
Oh my god! The nat 20 coming out. Jeez. Jeez Louise. Core, what did you... What are you
I got
getting?
a 16. But why don't I ever roll nat 20s when, like, they're important? I don't think I ever have rolled a clutch nat 20
Clutch that.
in any game, like either game.
I mean,
so.
who knows? It'll come up. I mean, you've rolled like a nat 20 on the Arcana check on the non-magical goblet.
Yeah. I don't think Brian ever rolls nat 20s.
But dude, you know for sure there was not an ounce of magic in that cup.
No magic going on here.
Okay, Ilya rolls a 20. The captain himself. Okay. Ooh boy. Is not rolling well. Baron is not here. I don't know what Baron's just gonna be there.
I just texted her to see.
Okay. Because you guys are kind of in battle. We can take like a quick break now if you guys want to get drink refills, go to the toilet. Maybe Queenie will hopefully return.
Let the cat out.
Texted.
Yeah.
I don't know if she's coming back.
We'll find out. Either way, it'll give me a little bit of time to think about what I'm gonna do with Baron.
She just texted me RB Hearties. So, I don't know.
RB Hardy's.
Yeah. I don't know what this means. Cat!
I need to know what she wants Baron to do. Does she want him to attack? I mean, probably. But like, what is... I mean, I've got Baron's character sheet here.
I don't want to fight the big muscly man.
I don't know what Queenie wants me to do with Baron, though. Does Baron want to attack?
She says she needs a bit more time.
That's fine. Well, okay, we can take a quick...
I don't know how much time that means. It's already 10. I kind of want to... I don't know what time we're planning on finishing, but I need to do a couple of things before I sleep.
That's okay. There isn't all that much left.
Okay.
The session has only gone for 2 hours, but
Yeah.
it won't take a lot longer. We'll take a 10-minute break, 5-minute break, 2-minute break, however long. We'll
I think
regroup.
2 minutes. I don't know when Quinny's coming.
All right, let's take a 2-minute break. I'll be here. You
Sounds
guys do your
good.
stuff.
I'm just gonna sit here.
I'm gonna learn Baron's character sheet really quickly.
I'm going to
Just in
stare at
case.
my dice and ask it why it doesn't roll natural 20s when I need them.
Let's see. What does Baron actually have? What can I make Baron do? Hideous Laughter Sleep. Has Baron cast 2 spells already?
Baron only costs 1, I think.
He casted Hideous Laughter.
Yeah.
So that happened. Let me just refresh this. This up to date. Is this updating? We can actually, you know what? We can answer a chat question while we're waiting here. So who/what is everyone playing? I am the DM, so I'm playing all the NPCs. Who are you playing? Who/what?
Oh, I am playing Core. He is a changeling, and he's a bit of an asshole, but hopefully there'll be a character arc there.
We're still kind of early in, so not too many sessions. Quinny, who's not here right now. This is like a session 5.5 because not every player is here for this session. We have Aylin,
None of the
who
players.
is here with us, playing a. Hold on, let me actually pop up the character sheet so I'm accurate here. A tiefling rogue. We have you. We have.
I'm a wizard, I forgot to say.
Yeah, you're a
I
wizard.
do the magics.
You're a wizard, Core.
And the squish.
We've got Quinny, who was here, who might be coming back, don't know, playing a human bard. We've got Jason, who is not here for this session, playing a deep gnome warlock. And we have Emma, who's also not here in this session. She is flying currently, playing a statue, a statue monk.
Oh, is it an Earth Genesee, technically?
I think we're using those stats,
Yeah,
technically.
technically.
No, we're not playing. We're playing in a homebrew campaign. Also, howdy. Good to see you guys here. All right, welcome back.
Yeah.
So,
Oh crap! Sorry, forgot to plug in. Okay.
hello. All right, so you guys have your roles, and we are going to enter initiative. I will roll on behalf of Baron because, just in case you never know, I'll try to be as
Faithful to the character.
kind of, sort of, slash non. Well, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, pretty good. Pretty. We'll hold on. Rolled this. All right. First in the initiative order is Ilya with your nat 20. So you are facing down the captain. He looks a little bit different.
Different how?
Different in the sense that it looks like since the last time you saw him, a lot more time has actually passed than it should have. In the sense that he looks a lot older and like he sustained a lot more injuries. And this isn't something that seems like it could have been done in a matter of a day or so, which is the time that's passed since you've last seen him. It seems like months have passed for him. His hair is different. He's got facial hair now. He's a lot more worn down.
Triggered.
That in of itself is just a very strange change that you do notice just from looking at him. And this is something that you all notice.
Does he look like he's taking hostile action towards us?
He looks like he's ready, yeah. He looks like he's drawing his daggers.
Let's be friends.
Or at least getting himself ready for some sort of attack.
Can I just kind of whisper, stay put, and then thaumaturgy the candles again?
Yes, you can. Alright, you thaumaturgy the candles.
Also, I would like to say that I left the trapdoor open.
Yes.
Oh,
It's a drop.
It is a drop.
It's 30 feet. How much damage is that actually? Oh my god, I have that written down
I
somewhere.
think it's a d6 per...
10 feet?
Yeah, something like that.
That
we-
could kill us.
We can. I'll pull out my DM screen if somebody jumps down the thing or something like that. But should be
Or
fine.
in case, Captain Stronghand falls down it.
In case he falls,
Oh,
yeah.
Let's not kill another NPC.
I mean, hey, you might not have a choice, but there are always choices
yeah.
in D&D. So that's up to you, my fellow adventurers, to decide what you want to do. Anyway, so you thaumaturgy the candles out. Is there anything you want to do as a bonus action or move?
Can I bonus action pull out my lockpicks? Because I can see in the dark.
Yeah, sure, I'll allow it.
Okay.
All right.
Assume that I can't, actually, that I feel like actually doing the picking would be like a whole turn.
That's gonna be a full.
Action.
That's gonna be a full turn action if you want to try to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm gonna hold off until
Mhm.
next turn to do that.
Yep. Okay. Next in the order is Core.
Oh.
You're back. Yes. In time. Okay. Thank goodness. So
Having a battle.
does okay. Aelin, Lily, I want you to roll for recap for the last 2 minutes or out 5, 10, 15.
Oh my
Awesome.
god.
Since I recapped the session, you get to fill Quinny in right now.
9.
And I want the closest number to, since we didn't actually get to recap properly, I want the closest to 14.
I rolled a 3.
Alright, Lily, go for it.
Okay, we climbed out of the room. Ilya helped us. We found Captain Strong Hand, who is the captain of the bandits.
Hmm.
And he's in the room above. He was talking to a lady. We kind of gave away our position, and the lady was like, "Oh, you can't handle your intruders," and walked away. And Captain Stronghand's kind of upset about that, and now he's about to fight us. And Ilya's just turned all the lights off again and is trying to pick the locks.
Yeah.
Yep, and you are in
Also
initiative.
said, don't move.
Actually, Quinny, do you want to roll initiative for me really quickly?
Yeah. 11.
11? You are still next in the order, easily. Okay, so,
Oh.
well, sorry, you are, after Core. So Core is your turn now.
Okay. As a bonus action, I'm gonna cast. I don't know how to pronounce this. Is it expeditious retreat on myself?
I think so.
Which allows me to, as a bonus action until the end of the spell, dash if I need to.
Okay.
And then, is he? Because I can kind of see in the dark. Is he coming towards us?
It's not his turn yet, so he hasn't moved.
Okay, I'm gonna hold up my hand and say, I think this is a huge misunderstanding. We were in like a hole in the ground, and now we're here, and we didn't mean to intrude. But you look a little beat up, my dude. Like we could help you. Have some bandages.
All right, you
and
get
nice
some of that
footwear."
out. You can't give your whole spiel in the battle. Next in the order, while
I use my entire action for that.
while you're delivering your sermon, Baron, you are next in the initiative order.
Baron continues on the sermon by rolling a persuasion.
Yeah.
Okay. So you want to use your action to try persuade the captain?
Yep, I'd say
Get your foot rubbing hands ready.
it's all a misunderstanding. And we are, remember what we talked about yesterday? We are your friends and we are trying to help you get rid of the goblins, I think.
Alright. What did you roll on your persuasion check?
Cause. We're truly
Garrett
committed to your
doesn't
cause.
know who Core or Ilya are because we look
He
completely
only recognizes he seems like he only recognizes you. He does not recognize the other two.
We were just trying to carry out the mission. 15 plus 6, 21.
21?
He turns into a dragon.
He turns into a dragon. No, that does not happen. Yeah, okay. So he seems to hesitate. Also, next in the order, as you've done that, if there's nothing else you want to do, it is the captain's turn now. And
Oh no, I'll run.
run? Okay, so you run as part of your action as well. Do you want to run towards the door? Okay, so in this room, right, because I don't think I described it, you've opened this trapdoor, you've found yourself in this room. The ceiling is not as high as the previous room you were in. The previous one was like a long elevator shaft-like drop. This room that you find yourself in, still bookshelves kind of around, seems like it's a lot less kind of, a lot less claustrophobic, a lot wider, a lot longer. It's just a more normal room. There's a desk on one side, to your side, where Captain Stronghand and a figure who you did see earlier, Lady Valentine, is what Captain Stronghand referred to her as. The two of them were standing there earlier. Oh! Kitty.
Sorry. He's just needy today.
Okay, Captain Stronghand was being berated by Lady Valentine, which you saw. Lady Valentine, upon seeing that you guys were in the room, left Captain Stronghand to supposedly, or apparently, dispose of you, and there's a door through which she left, behind the desk, and there's a door on the other side of the room, which was locked, as Ilya found out trying to escape through it originally. Also, whatever you decide to do at this point is done in the dark. You are the only one of the three that cannot see pretty much at all in this room. Or, well...
Captain Stronghand as well.
Yeah, so you assume.
But yeah, Ilya said, "Don't move," and then got out a lockpick and
I'm
put
still
out.
standing there like.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Then he won't move.
Alright, so you don't move. And next in the order is the captain himself. And you can't tell what kind of expression he has, but he doesn't answer as you roll your persuasion. But he seems to hesitate. Instead, from what you can hear and what you can feel from the room, he does sound like he's drawn his scimitar, and he has taken strides towards you, although he hasn't actually taken a swing yet. He doesn't say anything. Next in the order, he chooses not to attack, basically. Yet, at least. Core, you're up next.
Okay.
Core?
Core? Or was it Ilya?
Sorry, Ilya.
Yeah.
I have
Sorry.
I have the names written down, and then the initiatives are not in the name order. Hold on, let's put a little... 1, 2, 3, 4... Okay, sweet. Cool. Alright, Ilya, I apologize.
Can I look over my shoulder and see where Captain Stronghand is?
Yes, you can. As you look and you have a look, he seems like the way he's walking, he can't really see where you guys are, but he seems to be taking steps in your general direction in terms of where the group is, or so he thinks. And he has drawn his sword and looks like he probably will take a swing next turn, despite not taking one earlier and kind of remaining silent. Looking at his expression from kind of staring at him, if you want to use this look as an action.
No, I
Okay.
didn't. Just wanted to get kind of like a beat on him.
Yeah,
before
okay.
starting
He's
a lot.
coming towards you.
Where
and
does he
he's-
look like in regards to the trapdoor? Just out of curiosity.
He's pretty close. He's really close at this point. He's within 5 feet of it. He's taking steps towards you guys, and he was on the other side of the trapdoor initially, and he can't see the trapdoor at this point.
Okay. I'm gonna start on picking that lock.
Alright. You start picking.
Lockpick check?
Yeah, go for it. What do you normally do for a lockpick check?
It is dexterity plus proficiency.
Alright, go for it.
Cool. 23?
23. You are starting to unlock this door, and it seems for the most part like it unlocks. You don't have much trouble. It wasn't very difficult. All the other locks that you've tried picking up to this point have been a lot harder. This was the easiest by far to unpick. It was very simple. With that, the door is unlocked.
Cool.
And-
I'm gonna open the door, I guess.
Okay, I'm gonna say that you start opening your door, and that'll be where your turn ends. Light does start to creep in and pour into the room as you do that. Going from there, Core, it's now your move.
Okay. How far away is Captain Stronghand?
From you guys, he's about... Okay, if you haven't... Have you moved since you've... If you haven't moved, then he's within 5 feet of you. And 5 feet of the trapdoor.
Is the trapdoor between us?
Actually, hold on. If you all tried escaping through that door originally, then he's
Yeah.
10 feet away from you.
And the trapdoor's between us, or?
Kind of. It's directly to his side. If he takes one step to the right, he will fall in.
Okay. I'm just trying to work off like my mental image.
Mhm.
Can I start like skirting the trapdoor, like trying to keep it between us, and just
Yeah.
like, sir, like this is such a big misunderstanding. If you just let us go, we'll be on our merry way. I can see you don't want our help. And can I roll a persuasion check?
Yeah, sure. You can roll that, and that'll be your action.
16 plus 4, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. He looks like he's kind of torn in a way. Like he doesn't really want to do this, but at the same time, he doesn't seem to be letting off.
Okay.
For reasons unknown. Okay. After that, Baron, it is your move. You're next in the initiative order. As Cor skirts around and tries to keep the hole in the floor between him and Captain Stronghand himself.
Can Baron see the hole now? Because there's a light in the room.
Yeah, the light is pouring in now, so the light is it's not so dark that you can't see anything.
What does Baron do? Indeed. Baron decides. Hideous laughter again.
Alright, you cast Hideous Laughter, and it is a which save? Wisdom save. Alright, let's see how our captain friend does. 14.
14 is the save.
So meets it, beats it, so he saves, I think.
Wait, isn't it the other way around?
No, it's beats it, beats it.
I think it's the roller
Oh.
who has to defeat the save. Or the DC, basically. So, just barely, he kind of smirks a bit. Cracks a smile.
Yes, Baron tells his funniest joke.
But he doesn't break. His expression is still solemn. He shakes his head as you kind of attempt to cast the spell. Doesn't seem to take hold. And next in the order will be the captain. Who?
Oh, did Baron not skirt away?
Oh, do you want to take any movement?
Oh, yeah. Yes, I want to go towards the trapdoor, please.
Alright, you walk towards the trapdoor. And I am going to roll something, actually. Ho ho!
Or
Alright, he's been distracted and he looks like he's kind of torn. He looks like he's contemplating something, and something is on his mind very clearly as he's trying to take another step towards you. And as he does, and I wish I had a map to show this, but as he takes a stride towards where Baron and Cor are now standing, he accidentally steps into the trapdoor, and he's going to have to make... he's going to start falling. He's a big guy, not gonna lie, so he very well may be able to catch himself before he falls down. But he has to roll a save to see if he will actually die. Not die, but
Oh no.
you don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen.
don't you love being at this
I don't
level
wanna
and dying
die.
from a drop?
I wanted to die.
Oh no. He catches himself gracefully. He actually doesn't. His foot kind of steps where the trap hole door is, but he catches himself almost immediately as he sort of starts to feel himself fall, and he does kind of fall over a bit, so he does have to use his movement to kind of stabilize himself a bit, and he catches himself on the edge of the trapdoor and doesn't really fall in. That in mind, he takes note of the trapdoor as he sort of starts to stand up, and that's kind of all he's going to do this turn. He was careful enough not to drop the scimitar in his hand either, from his very good roll, actually. So next in the order, it comes back around to Ilya. So what are you doing? You've got the door open now, pretty much. In this time that has elapsed since the other players have taken their turns, the door is completely open. And from what you can see, looking down, there's a big corridor. It's kind of narrow, but it stretches on for a little while. Maybe... it's hard to say. Maybe 30 feet long. It's not an extremely long corridor. There's a door at the very end, which looks rather big. It's like a very big wooden door. You can't tell from here whether or not it's locked. On your sides, on either side of the corridor, there are 4 doors each, which all look similar in design to the one you're coming through. You do notice as well that from this vantage point, the door that you're exiting through, if you do choose to exit this room, is the door at the end of this hallway?
So what Ilya would like to do is thaumaturgy on Captain Stronghand
Yes.
to make it sound like Lady Valentine is calling him
Okay.
from like the doorway.
All right. I will definitely let you do that, but you have to do the impression of of Lady Valentine and roll a persuasion check. Or sorry, no,
Okay.
not persuasion, performance. The wrong P.
Wrong.
I'm good with deception or persuasion or performance, either way.
Now, if you're trying to imitate her voice, I'm gonna say that the spell itself is deceptive, but
Yeah. Well, because he's heard her voice,
mm-hmm.
I feel like he could recreate that via this magic.
Okay, I'll let you pick either deception or performance in that case.
Basically, very stern sounding captain or whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say that's fine.
All right. That's a 15 plus 5, dirty 20.
Dirty 20. He looks around. Hold on.
And Ilya's gonna yeet himself down that hallway.
All right. So as he looks around, he kind of starts to slip and fall down the hole. And you yeet yourself down the hallway. And as you do that, Core, it's now your turn. Ilya is running down the hallway.
Alright, I'm gonna look at the poor captain and say, you shouldn't really let yourself be anyone's bitch. And then he's gonna dash up to Ilya with his expeditious retreat.
All right, you dash out. Next in the order, Baron.
Suit.
Say again.
Baron follows suit.
Follows suit. Okay, so you all run out of the room. You're running down this
Run,
corridor.
boys.
The captain himself is struggling. He's trying to get himself out of the hole. He's gonna kind of keep trying to do that. And running through the doorway, I'm gonna say that you're still gonna stay in initiative just for now. So we'll keep doing it in initiative order. Ilya, what do you want to do? You are faced with the big door at the end, the doors on the sides. If you manage to get through even one of these doors, then we'll end initiative. Because the captain will be probably too far away by then, but he has to make one more action.
Can I see beneath any of these doors, like, light or, like, hear anything to try and decide which door to go through?
They are... None of them are emitting light in the same way that this hallway is. You can tell. That's all you can tell. There's nothing else.
Are there any keyholes?
Any keyholes? There is actually one door that has a keyhole. All the others seem like they don't have any keyholes. There is one door directly to the left of the big door that has a keyhole.
Okay, I'd like to go through that, or try to go through that door.
Alright, so you try lockpick it, and if you want to roll your lockpicking check.
Yes. That is not as good as last time. That is a 16.
16. This door seems to be a little bit harder to pick through. The lock itself is a little bit different from the one you went through previously. It seems like it's a bit newer, so it's not something you're quite as familiar with, but you still manage to figure it out in time and with ease, and you make it through, and you open the door, and what you see in front of you for your turn is a chest, a treasure chest, and there's nothing else. It's a closet. Next in the order is Core.
Still following Ilya.
Still following
Same.
Ilya? Just moving?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys are moving. The captain is going to make one roll. And depending on this, we'll see what ends up happening here. Ooh. The captain slips.
Oh!
Oh no.
And you are now out of initiative, and he is hanging on by his arms.
Dang.
He hasn't fallen down the hole. You'd be able to tell. He'd probably scream or something, but he's trying. You do hear a clang of a sword falling about 30 feet below you. In the kind of distance. It's like maybe 60 feet away. It's hard to tell. You hear it in the distance. You hear
You
it
should have
fall.
taken the foot rub. It was such a good offer.
Alright, so you guys are out of initiative now. Congrats. You made it through. You didn't end up getting killed or even harmed by the weird pseudo alter Captain Stronghand question mark in parentheses.
Nega strong hand.
Nega Stronghand. He seemed torn and disheveled.
Oh.
But anyway, so you guys are now here. You are looking into this closet which you have opened, and this treasure chest in front of you.
Try the keys.
What keys?
Just looking at Ellie like,
No, those keys don't open that.
fine, I want a perception check or investigate the chest, whichever one would be.
You
Better.
choose. Okay, what exactly are you looking for? Are you just
If it-
looking at it as a whole? Are you looking for something specific?
If it has like a keyhole, or if there seems to be any other way to unlock it.
Okay. If you want, you can roll a perception check or an investigation of your choice, but I will say that just by looking at it, you can see that there isn't a keyhole.
Okay, can I investigate to see if there's any way to open it?
Yeah, sure, you can investigate.
It's a 6 plus 5, so 11.
11? You do see something where a keyhole would be. There is a symbol inscribed into the chest.
Just a symbol, not a keyhole.
It's just a symbol. And you do not recognize what the symbol is.
I just tap it and look at Ilya like something to do
Can
with
I?
keys.
Can I investigate it, I guess?
Okay. You can have a look at... You can investigate the chest in general if you like. And you can also have a look at the symbol. Looking at the symbol specifically, it is also a symbol that you do not recognize personally.
Okay.
We look at Baron.
Oh,
Baron, if you want to investigate... Was that a natural one?
Isn't that one?
Baron.
That one? Okay, you are fixated on that symbol. You're just curious. You don't know what it means.
Like-
It's like, there's keyholes usually in chests here. You're so distracted you don't look at any other part of the chest.
Yep.
Baron gets a
That sounds
14.
14? Okay, you inspect the chest. You get an idea of how this might open because you do actually recognize what that symbol is.
Ha ha ha.
That symbol is a very specific musical symbol, and it's
Yes.
not a very commonly used one, but it is something that you are familiar with, and with your role you do recognize it. It is kind of...
Okay.
I have a drawing of it, but I'll try to describe it as well as I can. It is a circle with 2 lines in the middle, with a little smaller circle on top of, like, the big circle, as if it's, like, orbiting these 2 lines, and it's kind of off to the side a bit, to the left. I will...
It's a real music symbol.
It's not. But what it represents, which you do
I was gonna
recognize... I have to create some sort of musical language as somebody who plays instruments. But, basically, you as Baron recognize that this is a sort of a very old, ancient notation that isn't really used anymore, that denotes a 2nd octave C major key.
Okay. Baron says, huh. 2nd octave C major key.
Can you sing that note?
Will's... Okay, roll a performance check for me, actually.
Shit, it got a 10.
10?
Oh.
You kind of... It's kind of bad. You're not exactly the greatest singer. You pride yourself in your playing a little more than you do your singing. But, surprisingly, the chest seems to unlock, despite your very mediocre average performance.
Good job.
You hear a click.
Yeah. I just look at what's inside.
Alright, you open it, and inside you see a weird looking item that you haven't seen before. It is, from what you can see, a little round mirror, which is reflecting your reflection back at you.
Mirror.
It's a mirror, and it has
I like mirrors.
very intricate carvings
cool.
and designs in it. It looks very beautiful, and very small as well.
Inspect it further.
Okay, what?
Investigation.
Investigation? Okay,
Can I assist with the investigation?
sure.
Possible?
Ah,
Oh, 18 plus
14.
5, 23.
23? Okay. Baron, what did you get?
I think it was a 14.
14.
14? Okay. Baron, you're kind of looking at this mirror, and to you, it just looks like kind of a very nice mirror. The carvings on it seem kind of very intricate for like what seems like such a simple object. You figure it might be something that's might belong to a noble, but being somebody of that background yourself, you haven't seen anything quite like this. This is a bit of a different design and seems almost custom made. The design itself, from investigating it from your knowledge, seems to be vaguely reminiscent of goblin stylings, although only very vaguely.
Goblin royalty.
However, you do see that. The thing is, that sort of contrast doesn't seem to make much sense to you, but it is something that you do see within the patterns. Core, you investigating this with your role, recognize this to be not a normal mirror. You've seen similar items in the past, and generally items that have these kinds of engravings and have this much care and dedication put into crafting them are generally magic items.
Can I Arcana check it in response to that?
You can indeed Arcana check it.
Yay. My other really good skill. Nat 20.
Nat
plus
20?
5. And I bet this time it's going to be good.
Okay, Nat 20. I'm going to say that with your Nat 20, you actually do realize, as you're inspecting it, you do recognize what this item actually is. You have run across it before. And I wouldn't have actually told you, but since you got a Nat 20, I will tell you what this mirror actually does and what it is. Because
Finally.
I'm going to
My
say that
one's
you've
coming up.
either read about it or you've heard about it.
He's a wizard, so maybe he's right about it.
So you're familiar with this. Hold on, let me find my notes for this. Okay, this is... I thought you would go through more effort trying to figure out what this mirror actually did, but with your
My
Nat
dice
20...
felt sorry for me.
with your Nat 20, you do recognize it. You realize that this is actually a mirror that is crafted by a specific craftsman, Bix. Bix is well known in the magic world. He is actually a half-goblin wizard.
Half-goblin.
Half-goblin.
Mirror craft.
That's where the inspiration comes from. The wizard, specifically, he does live in capital, and he's known all over the continent for his creations. That said, this is a wizard that doesn't live among the people anymore. He disappeared a long time ago. And really nobody knows where he is. But he did used to craft things, and those things that he used to craft are generally held in very high regard and are very sought after, in magic circles especially. This is Bix's mirror. His name is spelled B-I-X, so this is hard to pronounce for me. Bix's mirror. Now what it does, because you know about this mirror with your roll, it freezes an enemy in a place as if petrified for a round of battle, should you show its reflection back to it. It is only effective against hostile mobs, so it won't freeze anybody that isn't hostile towards you. And in game terms, it freezes an enemy for one round of combat. So basically, if somebody has a certain initiative order, let's say you use the mirror, then the next time that mob would go, they do not go, and on their turn after that, they have to spend all their movement to kind of free themselves from the mirror's grasp, and then they can take their actions.
Sweet. I
Um,
put that in my pocket.
That said, you also, because of your roll, do know that it only actually works 3 times before it shatters. So what happens every single time is, as you use it once, the mirror cracks a bit. The second time it cracks more, and the third time it shatters to the point where it becomes ineffective. It doesn't reflect as well anymore, and after that it becomes kind of useless, and it's just a very decorative broken mirror.
Okay, I still take it. It's pretty.
But yeah, there you go. So you have Bix's mirror. That's what you found. Also, at this point, the walls... You're kind of looking around, the chest itself as well, and the walls around you seem to be kind of oozing a little bit.
Let's get out of here.
Yeah.
Alright, you walk back into the corridor. You have a plethora of doors to choose from. You have the other 7, plus the big door, plus the door you came out of.
Wait, 7?
Well, there were 8 doors in the corridor, not including the 2 ends. So 10 doors in total. The one you came from, the big door at the end, the one you entered, and 7 more. So as
Can
in...
you perception check any of the doors?
Yeah, sure, go for it.
That's a 6.
6? They kind of just look like normal doors. You can tell the big one is a very big door. Looking at the other
Okay.
door, Captain Stronghand hasn't appeared yet, so you seem to be safe for now. You do notice,
Stop
though,
asking for perception checks. It's just
even
not my thing.
even with that perception, you do see that the walls themselves are warping a little bit and seem to be oozing and kind of drooping a little bit, very slowly.
I want to get out.
Which door seems like it's like the most solid?
Most solid? They all look fairly solid, except for the big door, which is probably the most solid. That one looks like it's made of very sturdy wood, very big. It's a lot bigger than the others. It looks like it leads into some sort of much bigger room.
Okay, I'd like to go through that door.
Alright, you guys push on the door, you open the door, and you walk into a sort of larger area. You see to your side a sort of information desk with a few armored fellows standing by the desk. Looking around, you see a couple more doors to your sides, and you see a grand sort of double staircase leading down and kind of almost out in a way to the ground floor of whatever this building that you're standing in is now. You do realize, from kind of looking around from your perspective, that you are in a pretty large building. As you kind of look straight ahead, you can see massive arches with windows kind of pointing out, where there probably would be some sort of landscape, if you could see it, but the landscape itself doesn't seem to be there. And in fact, the windows themselves seem to have turned kind of an opaque grey and are oozing and kind of melting themselves, as the whole world is as well.
Should
As
we
the
just like
colors
huddle
starting
together?
to seep out of the world again.
This could just be a bad dream.
Yeah. Whatever.
Can I go up to the help desk, I guess?
Yeah.
Kind of sidle up, very
Slide.
confidently. Yeah. A little bit flirtatiously, kind of, and just like lean and say, "Hi, can you point me towards the exit, please?"
Okay, as you say that, one of the guards turns towards you, and as he looks at you, you see his eyes, rather than being the standard sort of... They looked like humans from when you were just perceiving them.
Oh no.
But as he turns around and he looks you in the face, you see that where his eyes would be are just solid gold eyes, just like you saw with
Sheep.
the sheep in the first
The
place.
sheep man.
And as you ask the question and he turns to you, he says, "You will need this." And he reaches out and he sort of touches you on the shoulder. And as he does, you feel a kind of stinging on your hand. And at this point also, the two of you feel the same sort of stinging. As an interesting rune starts to form in a sort of gold color. Now the rune itself, it looks the same for all of you. It's very kind of easily, like, briefly describe it, it's kind of like just a generic sort of eye with little glowy lines. It looks like it's kind of hand drawn almost. I will also send you a picture of that, but
Yeah.
if I'm gonna draw like a little quick picture so that you guys get an idea on some piece of paper that doesn't have spoilers on it. It's kind of a rune that looks a bit like... I should have drawn this beforehand. Like that.
Ah, yes.
Vaguely. Vaguely like that. And he says, "I think this dimension is collapsing. If you need to contact me, you can use this. Your friends too."
2.0. He's
If
gonna
the-
be sick of us so soon.
As he's kind of explaining this to you, the world is starting to... This collapse of the world is starting to speed up. And he says, or they say, "Don't forget what you've seen here today. If the rune disappears, then I am no more, and you will no longer be able to contact me. As long as it glitters in gold, then I will be around. And if it is in full opaque gold color, then you will be able to send me a message. As I will to you.
What's your name?
Yeah.
I go by many names." The
What's
world
your
is kind of
favorite?
collapsing.
What's your favorite?
You can call me whatever you like.
Mr. Sheep.
Yeah.
That's your name.
Thank
And
you
Mr.
for...
Sheep is dead.
Thank-
Oh no.
Oh no, the darkness.
That was great.
The darkness will envelop you.
Mr. Sheep died.
Thank you for trying to help me earlier. I wish you the best, and please rid the world of the evil that lurks within it.
Okay. Bye.
Goodbye. And
I
at
just
this
hold
point,
Ilya's hand because I don't want to get covered goop.
there's the world,
my
the
God.
whole, your surroundings are trembling as you're looking around and seeing this magnificent building that you can only see the inside of. You can't see outside the glorious windows, which would overlook who knows what at this point. The entire world, and the other guard as well, starts to turn to goop. Everything
Are we
starts.
getting grouped on?
You guys are getting maybe gooped on. You are in
I'm
an.
just hiding. Like,
There's all the walls and everything seem like they're starting to fall down and collapse as they're losing their structural integrity, turning to this liquefied sludge, like you saw in the pyramid before, that seemed to fall on top of and encase Jade and Yerrick, who weren't along this ride with you, along for this ride with you, and you see the mysterious figure in front of you with the gold eyes get engulfed by the goop himself and completely crushed by it. The gold from his eyes vanishing as he's hit by the goop as he falls down. A motionless body lays where his spirit once was.
this is dark.
And unless you want to make dexterity saving throws, then you are all going to start getting covered and squished by this goop. And you know what? It's kind of painful. Hurts just a little bit. You don't really seem to be taking any damage, but it is kind of painful. And as you kind of close your eyes, as the goop completely envelops you, you kind of wait for a little bit as you're standing with your eyes clenched. And nothing is really happening. And if you open your eyes and kind of look ahead to see what's going on, not feeling the goop anymore, you are standing in front of the wall with the goblin inscription with Jade and Yerrick as if nothing had ever happened.
Jade! Kor throws himself on Jade.
And at this point, the three of you, not the other two, but the three of you are now level 2.
Ooh.
So,
Also, Ilya would like to remove their glove to see if like the golden eye mark is actually there.
you kind of see, as you look at your hand, when it was forming on Kor's hand before, it was a very pronounced, like, opaque gold that was very clearly visible on your hand. And now if you look at Kor's hand as well, there's just a very, very faint light flickering of gold specks in roughly the outline of where the eye used to be.
Sweet.
But it's very
I
faint.
didn't think that was possible. And then puts the glove back on.
And we finished a little bit early, but that's where we'll end the session. Thank you very much for making it. I appreciate you guys a heap. This was a freaking weird session to write and plan. But
Good.
found some weird content.
Yeah.
Level 2. What happens at level 2? I'm so excited to find out.
Yeah, you get to level up your character sheets. I'm sure Yerrick and Jade will be very happy to find out that they have not yet leveled to level 2. It's gonna be fun.
That's what happens when you let real life get in the way of D&D.
I mean, Emma's flying. That's like kind of. I do have in my notes here, which I can actually read out. There is some spoiler stuff in here, but I won't read out all of it. I have this little kind of cute section here in my notes with that little D12 that I drew.
That is really cute.
Because I like the D12, and I'm sad that we almost never use it because we don't have a barb. So I'm just gonna make all the encounters use D12s and stuff. But anyway,
It's also really neat.
yeah, I think it makes it kind of interesting.
table thing. Yeah.
I had the idea. I partially stole it from things I've heard, but I know that the OG D&D way back in the day used to do encounters with a D6, and if you roll a single number on the D6, that would generate the encounter. Basically, if you rolled the same as the DM, I think.
I never rolled D6s.
So, yeah, we don't use them ever. But the idea I had for the D12 was like, if you split all the numbers in half, then
I guess
you set 2 different numbers as the encounter rolls for 2 different types of encounters, and then depending on what everybody rolls, that determines the encounter. So, I will say though that one of the 12 numbers, or one of the 2 that's rolled, is always going to be an enemy encounter, and the other one is kind of like up to my discretion, depending on what it is. So it might be like a dream sequence, or a passive enemy encounter, or something. But
Can we add Mr. Sheep to our allies list?
if you choose to do so, he's technically an ally, yes.
Yay.
He
You
is.
guys can rename him if you don't like that name. I just thought it was easy.
He's in dire straits. I like Mr. Sheep. It's cute, and you guys have named him. And this will be interesting to explain to Yerrick and Jade, for whom time has not passed at all. All that's really happened is you've looked at the wall, and before you've done anything, all three of you just squeezed your eyes kind of a bit, and that's it.
They weren't the chosen ones.
They did come initially, but they were squashed by the sludge.
Oh.
Anyway, that's it for the time being, I think.
Okay.
Also, hold on. Oh yes, the thing I wanted to read out. I was thinking there was. Okay, so I forgot to mention this earlier, but this is a rule that I have, which I will also mention to everybody else so that everybody's aware, and everybody will level to 2 very soon. But my note here for my mechanics notes: if the party is to level during a given session, any character whose respective player is absent will not level at the same time. That's just it, basically. Because it's less so like, oh, it's unfair, they're not leveling at the same time. It's more so just I want the player to be there to experience the leveling experience. I don't want kind of. I don't want anybody to like level while they're going and be like, oh, I came back, now I'm level 2. Okay, cool.
Cool.
Yeah.
But you guys in the actual game, because this session was impromptu in a way. I mean, all of that content in there is like actual lore, but
Yeah.
you were very close to leveling initially anyway. Meaning that Jade and Yerrick are also very close to leveling at this point. Anyway,
Cool.
that's it for now. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you to the folk on Twitch who watched. You guys make it fun. I'm sorry I didn't get to like read chat or anything or answer too many questions aside from in the break, but we will be back in 2 weeks with the full party for a full session, for full session 6. Be sure to join. It's gonna be good.
Are we on the 17th then?
Should
Is
be.
that correct?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
17th,
And then
8 p.m. Australian time.
Emma's game is back on the 11th, unless I'm mistaken.
That should be right.
Yes.
So that should be all good.
Not tomorrow.
I think for the next Shiny Boy session, we'll have all the players back for the first time since session 1. I hope. Oh my god.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good content.
Yeah.
Alright. Also, just a heads up, I'm gonna get one of you guys to recap this next session, so be ready.
I have notes now.
Yeah,
that's
Core's notes. I think this will be an interesting session to go over.
Yeah.
Anyway, okay. I'll leave it there for
Alrighty.
now. I'll catch you
Thomas,
guys
set
later.
your alarms.
Yeah, don't worry.
so
I'll be
wake up.
good.
Okay.
I'll catch you guys later.
Bye-bye. See you guys next
Bye.
week.
Bye.